The moment we've all been waiting for is here. Kaya hasn't waited for it as long.
I listened from the start.
That's very
They're invested,
generous of
Ellie.
you.
They're very invested.
I was a fan. Guys.
I love it. That's very generous of you. I usually say to all my friends that I listen to their stuff, but I never do. But that's very nice. But we're here. We're fucking here. Remember, Anne, when I said I had something prepared, and then now I'm like, it's going out of the window.
I mean, I do remember you saying that a couple of times, but I trusted you.
How the fuck do you start
The end?
exactly the final episode or something?
I don't know, but
Without
I think
it-
that's a pretty good seg.
Yeah, right? Like, it's impossible.
I also
because-
don't think there's any wrong way to do it. I mean, you've done every single episode up until now. It is what it is. This happens to be the final one of the
Ellie,
season.
Oh my god.
It's not you, it's me.
And it's also me. And Kaya's here too.
Yeah.
Kaya.
It's also me.
And we're all holding hands.
But we're breaking up.
Oh, we're breaking
Yeah.
up. Where are we? No,
But it's-
what are we? No.
Well, it's not
No.
us. It's you.
That's the thing, though. It's like there doesn't have to be like.
Yeah.
It's just it's
Sometimes
the time.
it just doesn't
And we're
work.
moving on
The
to
time
the
has
next
come.
phase.
Yeah,
That's what's happening. It's okay.
it is okay. Every time people tell me that, though, I break down into tears. So I'm gonna
Sidestep away from that real quick.
because it means like it's okay. We're just entering a new phase, and I'm like, without each other.
Transition.
Change doesn't have to be scary.
Change does not have to be scary at all.
Except when it's Vasen, and then it's
Then
very,
it's
very
scary.
scary.
Actually, to be honest, this specifically podcast pretty scary.
Pretty scary.
If you walk down a dark forest in Sweden and
Yeah.
you experience a change,
I'm running
Yeah.
away.
it is about to be scary.
I'm also
However,
calling you
I
immediately.
love it.
Question: Have you guys gotten more interested in visiting Sweden after this?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
1,000%. I mean, you've described some like really beautiful landscapes
Yeah.
outside of just like folklore, which I love, and like mythology, which I love, and I'd love to visit the place that we've now been playing the game that's set in it. But like, I don't know, the cities, the countryside, everything just seems very beautiful and picturesque.
Parts of it, yeah. Parts of it is really beautiful. I would say Norway is even prettier. So,
Listen, for the fika alone,
Afika alone. Yeah.
I'm interested.
yeah. Are you drinking a baby smoothie?
I
Baby smoothie. Those are actually
I
so
just-
good for you.
It's
Yeah,
called Peter Rabbit Organics. Starbucks sells them.
Yes.
This one is apple and grape, and sometimes I feel like I just need a little bit of sugar. But this is nice. It's 70 calories, and it's
And the packaging is cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ellie can't look away from things that might
It's-
involve children.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it
Nesting.
kind of just like fruit snot? Yes, it is. It is. It's a puree.
Okay, but everybody loves a good puree.
And also, if you're on the
applesauce,
go-
pear sauce.
this tastes like applesauce.
Yeah.
That's what it tastes like.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of applesauce, no. Continue. Sydney.
No, I was gonna say those are really good. I've had them before. I have no shame.
Yeah.
I've had them before.
Guys,
How
this
dare
is
I
a
make
you.
shame.
applesauce
This
all
is,
the time.
I would never shame any of you for anything.
That's not true.
I would shame you for
You've
most
shamed
things.
me for so many things.
So
I
Okay.
remember very distinctly you shaming her swatshirt.
I actually wrote. I'm wearing it again. God damn it.
Same
It's
sweatshirt.
really funny because
I thought I made it clear last time, Sydney.
No more Waffle House.
And isn't this embarrassing for me? I will say I
Shame.
changed my bra and my shirt underneath this sweatshirt. If you must know,
I mean-
listeners. Can we start the game?
Yeah, I would like to be Astrid Nieberg one final time.
Yeah. Kaya, who are you playing today? Who do you want to be today?
I'm gonna jump in with somebody new. I feel like every time that I'm here, I'm gonna.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
really
Me
hope
too.
I really hope everybody's excited about me just using my very intense, natural outside of Chicago accent.
No,
for
I
it.
love
It's
it.
so authentic.
Since we are now ready, I think, to jump into the episode, which might be a long one. I'm gonna do it till the
Saddle
end.
up. Oh,
This-
me too.
Going long.
We're going long, but I'm wondering. Well, I mean, I hope so. We'll see. We'll see. I want to talk to you guys.
Again, unless we die.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Right now.
TPK, 5 minutes in.
The end might be very near.
Thanks for
folks.
listening, everybody.
Yeah.
We appreciate your support.
Oh, right. I forgot that I left you guys off at a really, really
Yeah,
tricky situation.
Might be getting caught. Might
2 out of
might
3
ruin
Ralphs.
Might ruin the whole thing. I don't know.
Actually, yeah.
3 Ralphs.
Remember that time when I said I was gonna give you guys an epilogue?
Yeah, LOL.
Might be a completely different one now.
You gotta rewrite it.
But I wanted to say before we get into this, it's gonna be a couple of really gnarly dice rolls that's gonna inform the last decision. Like, it's gonna inform basically what happens in the story. And the thing is, some listeners might hate this. Like, they might think it's like, oh, you're taking away player agency by letting the dice decide. And I'm like, fuck you.
Let the
It's my
fates decide.
Exactly. I think the dice should always decide. But then there's also, like, based on you guys, the decisions you make, I might not be a nice GM. As I'm sure you guys are used to.
Should have prayed to the dice gods,
Yeah.
y'all.
So, and I mean, I always like a good ending, but a good ending is not always a happy ending, is what I'm saying. But it would be awful, actually really awful, if I have to do the epilogue that I call catastrophe epilogue.
I want to know all of the potential epilogues at the end. That's what I want.
So where I left you guys off is that you were in the middle of rolling a stealth because you're puking right now.
Well, we roll. If I remember
rolled.
correctly, we rolled.
I got 2 successes, I think.
And
None-
you wanted to pull us. Are we
Yeah.
rolling the stealth to pull us back through that room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is a new stealth.
This is a new stealth.
Got it.
The
Because-
return stealth roll.
Okay.
Oh,
Or
man.
sneak, I think. Is it called sneak maybe in this?
No,
It's called stealth.
Okay, good.
3.
Oh god, I can't live me.
Because it was Abigail and
Henrik, we're
Henrik were
yakking.
puking.
Well, sorry, there's a bunch of chopped up body parts on the table.
Yeah.
I did get 1 success.
Okay.
I also got 1 success.
Nah.
I feel like there's so much. No, the one who's dragging us didn't manage it.
So, I'm gonna be nice because Astrid is the one who didn't throw up. So I'm gonna. How about you add maybe a 2 more, just
Sure.
to see.
Well, 2 successes!
Oh, yes.
Oh, God.
There's so much pressure now on the
I
dice roll
know.
that you know the assumption is you're gonna die unless you roll a 6.
Yeah, but so the 3 of you successfully can back out right before the lab coats arrives. And
Are we vomiting the whole way?
exactly?
Just the ones?
Yeah. But you can hear them. They're not necessarily noticing the puke because unfortunately the smell is bad enough in there.
Yes, Sid called it. There was already blood and viscera.
Yeah, it
They'll
was
miss it.
gross. And I tried to puke into the drain on the floor, so probably
It's a
fine.
precision roll.
Yeah. Yes.
But you make it out, and Johan is waiting
Yeah.
outside the lab. What do you do?
Go. We need to get out of here right now. We shouldn't be here.
Where,
We should go.
where do you want to go?
I don't know. I
I'm
don't know what
wiping
I'm
puke
saying
from my
anymore.
mouth.
Back to the rooms.
Yeah.
We need
Swish with my
to.
flask.
We need to reevaluate what we're doing and figure out what's happening.
I think I hand my flask to Dr. Johnson just
Take
to
this
swish
thing.
out. Yeah, to the mouth.
Doesn't just swigs.
Oh, God, I just swallowed the.
Yeah, Johan is like, what happened in there?
To the rooms.
Okay,
Yeah,
You head up to your own private quarters.
Can we all go to one room
Yeah,
together?
Yeah. All right, so you're back at your rooms.
All right. Well, that was bracing and not at all what we expected.
Dr. Johnson, do you know what we were looking at?
Abigail has now gone and pulled out a toothbrush and is brushing her teeth.
Oh.
While we have this conversation. I'm not going to try and do that voice, y'all. We don't want to. That was not at all what I expected from that space. There was none of that is anything that I studied. There was, babies in jars and strange creatures that I have seen a few of, but it's not what I study. I was expecting there to be stones in the lab. I was expecting there to be maybe something electrical that I could understand, but right now all I'm understanding is that there is a military here, there are not scientists here, and I don't see any reason that we should be here except for we're in danger.
What if, and again, I realize I'm built to fill in blanks that maybe don't need to be filled in, but I get it. What if they have decided that the creatures that all of these Vasen have would be better off if they were mindless automatons? We already know that if they use the crystals upon a person. They lose their sense of self, their sense of drive.
So they're trying to combine the humans with the Vasen?
It could be the humans with the Vasen, or even just they had to show us on a human, because they wouldn't have been able to show us on a Vasen in front of an entire room of people at the study. But what if they were trying to create like an army of these creatures?
I don't know about that, only because from what I've seen, the Vasen seem to be attracted to the stones. And if Susanna's any indication, they can control them. I'm not sure if the stones would be able to manipulate them in that sense. I think it's the other way around. I think the Vasen are the ones who can use the stones to their advantage. So, but what you said, Dr. Johnson, the combination, Astrid, what do you think? That
They could
the
be
severed
trying
arms...
I mean, I agree. I think there's no reason to think that it's likely a combination of some of these things.
Well, in any case, we have to find Sigrid. We have to talk to her.
Where would she be?
I don't know, that lioness guy was pretty unhelpful. I told him to find her, and he said he didn't know where she was.
Well, there's an actual event that's happening later, right?
We should go to dinner, and we should try to reason with her. We should tell her what we've... Well, if we tell her what we've seen, she'll just have us killed.
Yeah, we should not tell her what... Well, we have to play this smart. We have to know... We have to let her know that we know, without letting her know that
How
we
we
know.
know.
How we know. Right.
All right.
I take another swig. Well,
So should...
The
Do you
dinner is in about an hour, by the way.
Right.
is the dinner the event also?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
Would it make sense to imply to her simply that we had found some research from Franzibald
Hmm.
and tell her maybe about the society? Again, white lie, and say that we have come to believe that these things can be very dangerous, that she could be potentially putting a lot of people in jeopardy, and see how she reacts. Because if she really is someone trying to do what's right and not someone who is trying to be self-serving, she will express some form of feeling. And she sort of looks at Henrik and says, "Do you think she is an unfeeling person?"
I don't have an answer for that, but I don't know if what she's after is the greater good. I assume she's probably well aware that these are dangerous. I don't really think she's concerned.
Have you told Abigail that you...
No.
Cool.
Wait. Oh, no, I didn't tell Astrid, but she had the vision. So then we, kind of talked about it.
We talked about it because she had said, "I'm worried that that was when we had the whole conversation about how she was like, it's not that I'm jealous, it's that I'm worried that she's going to
Use me.
use you and stop what we're trying to build together."
And do you think you've seen Sigrid regularly since Valborg?
Well, I was thinking maybe, I would see her every so often out and about,
every Friday night.
Well, you said that she was very busy with the mine and stuff, so I assume it's not like she's waiting on me to call on her to hang out.
Right.
To hang out. But I think maybe
yeah.
we had secret little rendezvous.
Yeah, I
So-
think that's fine.
I think Abigail is just going to sort of, again, see that there's, information that she's missing and say, is there a reason that the three of us should speak to her? If you two already know her, would it benefit us to have one person speak to her? Whether that's you, and she's just going to kind of look to everybody in the space, or your husband, who I don't know if she knows, or me, who may be able to get her to share some sort of research information if she thinks that I'm on her side or could be of use.
I think the only way that she will share anything is if she thinks we have something she wants desperately.
Aye. Maybe you're right, Astrid. Maybe the information, we could say that Franzibald we had found research papers from him with the help of Abigail.
Yeah.
and
that we'd be happy to provide them if she'd tell us what they were for. And I think that's when we can sort of, has she gone too far over the line?
Exactly.
Or can she come back?
I think we should go with our best lead, what we think she's doing, and say that that's the research that we found, and that Franzibold had found that it doesn't work, that it's dangerous, that you shouldn't try it. And perhaps she'll want to listen to us then.
Should we maybe say that research is something to do with, she's like already thinking through this and trying to like do her hair for the evening's event in the mirror, and it's like a shitty mirror, and she's trying really hard, and she says, do you think that's maybe implying that Franzibold had done some work with Vassin and seeing if the power of a Vassin could be suffused with the power of a gem?
I think we have to just go in full truth, not really the full truth, but say we know.
You know what you could do, because I really do think you should head this conversation. I think lies are always best when they're just south of the truth. Tell her that we read research about the Lady of the Cold. Tell her as if it was Franzibold who was there and not us. And that was how he got one of his gems, because it came from... Tell her that story, how the gem came from the Vassin, and see what her reaction is.
Aye.
Because when she was killed, that's when the gem appeared.
Aye. Not a bad idea.
And then you have something to go off of that is real, that you can describe, and then maybe she will believe simply that you are worried for her.
All right. Well, it's a plan. I'm going to freshen up, and I'll meet you at dinner. Mm-hmm. And Henrik goes to his room, and you hear the shower turn on.
Yeah.
And is there telephones?
No, I've set it in. There's not even electricity yet.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm going to write a note then to, like, concierge or, like, whoever, and just say, like, please forward this to Sigrid Magnuson, Miss Magnuson. And I'm just going to say, looking forward to seeing you at the dinner. Need to talk. Important information, Henrik. Doherty.
Yeah. And when you go back to your quarters, she's going to chat with Abigail just for a minute and say, I realize you're a very efficient woman. You've sort of been tossed into an emotional shit show. For lack of a better word. I'm a lady after all. All I can say is there's something between them. I don't know the extent of it.
As long as the best plan, I don't know. Maybe I'm just still confused, but if we just said we're not sure if she's certain about, or if she's interested in the moral high ground or what's good or right, I don't really see how playing on her heart is going to be effective. And I've been called a cold woman, but I just don't see that that's going to be particularly effective. And I'm happy to write some convincing fake research, but again, I'm too new to this situation, and your relationships, she's just going to sort of wave her hands under the air of like, oh my gosh, there's clearly been so much that's happening, and there's some tension that I don't get, but it's clearly there. There's clearly so much that I'm not a part of, and I'd love to be of more assistance. So if that's writing fake research and you're certain that this is the best plan, then I will trust you. I don't know the Mathesons well, and clearly I was not invited here as a researcher in any capacity. I'm invited because of my relationship to Franzibold, because of my knowledge of the stones, and that's it.
I mean, you make many fine points. I suppose I'm sitting here thinking this is more than a project. It is a fight for the very right of our society to exist, to do the work that we do. And the last time Franz was trying to work on this, everyone in the society died. And I simply cannot stand idly by and let this woman destroy what we were meant to build again.
Abigail's just gonna sit down for, It's probably the first time you have seen her not rushing about. Franzibald was a very dear friend. Please don't mistake me that I have no heart in this fight. But if there are only hearts involved in a fight, that can be a very hard fight to win.
You're right. Well, we'll all contribute in our own way. I need a new dress. And she whisks out of the room in a flurry of skirts with Thor following behind her. Yeah.
And it's time for dinner. The four of you, you enter a big hall that you might have passed earlier on your tour. It's newly built and it feels quite modern for 19th century. And you would also call it sterile. Like, it's not a cozy, beautiful 19th century hall. It's more like, if I would describe it, like Soviet Union, like very military, very functional. Tall windows, dark furniture, dark walls. It's not cozy, something. And to the right, you have this panoramic view of the Laponian Gate and the mine. And you can also see that weird structure you saw earlier. And it looks a lot bigger than it did before.
Yeah.
Also from here, roll on vigilance.
2 successes.
Damn, good.
1 success.
No successes. Why do I keep getting no successes on the ones that I have a shit ton of dice for, and the ones I have basically no dice for, I'm succeeding?
It's, we've talked about that a couple of times. It's a gnarly system because it's like pass or fail, and then fail, it's like, okay, cool, then I don't know what to do here.
It's like when I rolled those 2 extra dice and they were like, both 6s.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, it would have. Yeah, anyway, doesn't matter now. But what you see, Henrik, the mine looks like from this angle, it looks like, if you didn't know better, you're like, doesn't that look like a body, like a huge body that's resting?
Oh, the structure?
No, the mine, like the whole area.
Huh. The shape of it.
The shape of it just looks like, if you've seen Moana, like the island looks kind of like
like an Earth Goliath.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's fine.
Yeah, and so you're like, huh. But it's covered in stones, it's covered in wood, like forest, it's covered in vegetation. What a funny sight. That kind of looks like a human resting, basically. Abigail, you're like, what? No. Dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I'm too distracted by how I'm worried that this plan is the wrong plan.
Yeah.
This is when she realizes right before we're about to like go in, she asks for the stone one last time, and she's going to bless the stone with some oil so that you have +2 to a test to use the stone, if it comes to that.
And the rest of the crowd in here is, to Abigail's, Dr. Johnson's disappointment, very few other researchers.
God damn it.
A bunch of uniformed men, and all the
Gather for the science nerds.
Yeah.
And this is the shit I get.
And unfortunately, the other science nerds, they're all looking very out of place as well. They look as disappointed as you. Sigrid and her husband arrives finally. This is the first time you see her. And they are sitting far away from you. However, Sigrid does give you, Henrik, a quick glance, acknowledging your presence, but otherwise ignores you.
Damn it.
I
think he kind of looks at her and gives the nod of like, we know we see each other, but this is like a formal setting.
Yeah, roll a sneak. I'm gonna
A
try something here.
sneaky nod.
A sneaky
This is
nod.
mostly to see if Mr. Magnuson notices
I was
it.
going to say, can Abigail's
2 successes.
Good, because I got 1 success. It would have been bad.
Son of a bitch!
It would have been really bad
Oh,
if
fuck.
Mr. Magnuson had
Making
like,
eyes at his wife.
Yeah, can you imagine like one of those things when you're like, you think you're flirting with someone across the room, and then all of a sudden you see a third person
And they're just staring at you.
and you're like, fuck,
That is
fuck,
you're
fuck.
like, oh
Abort,
no.
abort.
Yeah.
Damn.
After dinner, you eat. I'm not gonna describe the food, but it's phenomenal. After you eat, Mr. Magnuson stands up. Gentlemen, he says, ignoring the 5 or so women who are in the room.
LOL.
We started this endeavor only 3 years ago, and look how far we've come. With my guidance, We have been able to source the most powerful mineral the world has ever seen. And with your generous support, we've been able to now find ways to utilize it. If you look at Sigrid right now, you can see that she is looking at him with very tight lips, as if she's seething on the inside.
That's good for us.
Yeah?
Yeah. She's not happy.
A lesser man would have ignored the potential of this discovery, but that's not how I operate. We've invested a significant amount to show you something that will change warfare forever. Mumbling crowd, mumbling crowd.
Warfare, 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 warfare.
Please, take your seat by the window. And you notice that there's a couple of chairs now by the panoramic view window. So you can see the structure outside. Are you doing it? Or are you going to the restrooms or something?
No, I would assume I'm going to look at the
Yeah.
structure they're about to unveil and see what
Yeah.
the fuck that is.
So what you see is about 50 men down on the ground. This is
I
like
really
would
want to be watching Sigrid during
Alright.
all of this as well. Like, are she and her close together, or is she further
She's
away
prob-
from him? Like,
she-
I want to be looking for an opening where I could
Yeah.
shove Henrik over there and be like, "Now, talk to her now."
Do it, do it.
I think with the commotion, I think it's probably not the right time to talk to her right now. It would be noticeable. But she does not look happy at all with this. In fact, she looks pouty. Pouty and murderous.
Howdy in a murdering.
Yeah. And so these 50 men who are gathered around the structure on the ground, and remember, you see it from a bird's view. They move towards it, and then Mr. Magnuson, he stands on a balcony outside and raises his hand, signaling something. And then they remove the huge cover, and it reveals something so weird and absurd that you're not quite sure what you're seeing with your 19th century eyes. But with our eyes, living in the 21st century, the best way to describe it would be a missile launcher, made purely out of cast iron. It is completely black, and the front is pointing towards the Laponian Gate. But it's not like it's a missile on it. There are more like several pipes and chimneys coming out of it, and it's ramped up on gigantic wheels underneath. So it's a strange thing that none of you ever seen before. And I don't think you can even imagine what it would be used for. Except that it looks like it's pointing very directly at the Laponian Gate. And then Mr. Magnuson does a movement with his hand again. And from the nose of the machine, there's a small beam of green emerald light that hits a nearby stone and completely obliterated in seconds. All of this leads to gasps and then later applauds. Because remember, whenever we set this, people are still on horses fighting. This is not. Bombs don't really exist yet. Lasers don't really exist yet.
Death Stars on wheels.
Yeah.
Pointed at Lost
Yep.
Mountains. They
Yeah.
don't exist.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet.
So this is strange. It's a strange power that seems to be. It's unsettling to you, but everyone else in the room is incredibly excited.
Yeah.
However, the scientists, the 4 or 5 other scientists that are there, they look anxious. They might be looking towards one another and like, oops, what the hell just happened? Sigrid joins on that anxiety.
Yeah, I think after the laser explodes a rock, I think Henrik immediately looks back at Sigrid and is like, what the fuck?
I feel like Abigail's making that eye contact with the other scientists who are looking around to each other like, what in the actual fuck are we here for?
Yeah. And then they roll out a table with the prototype of the machine, and all the military folks and officials from all over the world. There's the government officials, everyone, they're flooding towards it and starts talking over each other. It seems like they want to buy the machine right away, and they're saying, like, offering amounts of money. You don't feel like it's a good time to try to approach Sigrid right now either, because it's simply not enough. Like, it seems to be a chaotic energy. But Mr. Magnuson comes back. Gentlemen, please, calm down. There will be plenty of time to discuss cost when we finalize the details. And that's when Sigrid actually finally steps up and says, We still need to do so much more research on these items. This is still just a prototype. We should carry forth with extreme caution. And then Mr. Magnuson gives her one look, and she quiets down. I apologize for my wife. She's young and forgetting her place. I guess this is what happens when you let them read. And then he brushes her cheek while the room erupts in laughter.
Except for me.
What a dick. Yeah, Henrik is also
I
like,
don't
what
think
a
any of us
Yeah.
are laughing at that.
dick.
Yeah, no, but it's...
We never liked him, and now we really don't like him.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the dinner is sort of over. Sigrid leaves at that. She is clearly not... Her young self is clearly not excited about that comment at all.
I kind of look at Henrik as she's leaving, and I'm like, okay, like, this is it. She's leaving. Magnuson is going to be tied up.
Yeah, I think Henrik...
Follow him.
Yeah, Henrik tries to, like, follow her.
Yeah. I think you might not have time to catch her, but I kind of want to give you the option. So let's see here.
And Magnuson's still in the room, right? We have eyes on him.
I
No,
almost just want to, like, slip her a piece of paper, you know, in passing, like, just hand her something that just says, like, need to talk,
Yeah, like
meet
location
at
to
room,
meet, yeah.
blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
I think she gives you one look before she leaves. If you're signaling that you're like trying to follow her, and I think she gives you the look of like don't not right now.
Yeah.
And Mr. Magnuson, like they withdraw, like it's like sort of the dinner. Everyone wants to talk to them.
The
Everyone wants to
entourage of people.
yeah, and so it's just like do not cause a scene right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say potentially I could roll conjuring tricks to like manipulate him and like detain him, but it sounds like she doesn't want that anyways.
Also too dangerous. I wouldn't do it at this
Yeah.
big dinner event. I think alone maybe, where it
Yeah.
was just him with
yeah,
us.
yeah, you're right.
But I think we have to do.
I'm scared.
I also think we
I
have to.
definitely think if we're working to get her on our side,
We're doing a good
which
job
she's-
already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like listening to her wishes of like now's not the right time
Yeah, you're
implies
right.
that she does think that there is a right time and that she'll make the right time
I
happen.
also think we need to do a little bit more reconnaissance now that we know what like this thing is, and try
Yeah.
to figure out what they're gonna do. Like, does it explode stuff? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, and the beam you saw, it just destroyed, like, it destroyed a huge rock, but
Yeah.
it's not, but you get a sense. Yeah, so if you guys go back to your rooms, you could probably deduce that, like, you would get a sense that that large of a machine probably has more power than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you go back to your rooms?
Yeah.
I think Henrik retires to his room. Also because if Sigrid knows where he is, you know, she can find him. But I think he really wants to talk more with Abigail and with Astrid, and just like look through the Vasson book and try to figure out like Susanna's problem. Susanna's problem, and like what Vasson that might be that's sort of taken over her, and if like we can use it to our advantage to try to get it somehow here, and like just try to make everything work together.
Yeah, I was thinking about the potential of doing, now that we've seen enough and seen all the dead Vasson and everything, trying to do some automatic writing to see if I could discover like how certain clues are connected now that we have new clues and it's a new set.
Yeah, I was also thinking, like, I know it hasn't been that long since the, like, Wild West episode that we did that I had this bag of stones, but, like, we talked about the variety of these things and how they function together or don't function together. I know I have my other talent, which is, like, the erudite talent, which is being able to just, like, say, okay, we're putting these things together and understanding it now.
So let's talk before you use any of your talents, and just so I don't give you a clue that you already have.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit what your running theories are right now of like what's happening, and I'll see if I need to shed some more light if it's gonna be revealed.
I think the Lost Mountain is a gate. I mean, it's literally called a gate, and we know that there's this. Well, I guess we don't know that there are these portals, or extraplanar stuff, from our previous Western excursion, right? But
we did have the conversation already about that, like, this is what we're assuming is a part of this, especially when we were talking about, like, the Vasen and then, like, these god-type creatures as well, that they're from some other space.
And I think
we did talk about
we've
that.
made the connection that, like, the crater possibly wasn't just an explosion, but maybe how, like, Vasen can travel, you know, between worlds. Because the thing kept saying, I want to go home.
Yeah.
So maybe home isn't so much a location as it is like the portal.
Yeah.
So I think we have discussed those
elements of it. Yeah. So that's one thing. We've talked about the idea that if Susanna does not go home, that she will continue to be driven by this unending deathly hunger, which 10 out of 10, not great. And we know that they've been killing and studying Vasen.
Probably for their gems.
Yes, there we go. Because that's how they would be the mine. Wait,
they're mining them from the Vasen, not from a literal mine.
Ew! Oh, it's terrible.
And do you remember what you saw?
The body parts?
No, the mine. What it looked like?
The veins. Like the tree. Oh, like a body.
Like a body.
Yeah. So is it one
giant Vasen creature?
Almost. And I wonder if they were trying to rebuild Vasen from dead ones to try to make more gems or something, you know, like something fucked up.
Or seeing if they could get more, I mean, we've saw things like Vetir, which are very common.
Yeah.
They could just be like, well, if we got them from the big one, could we get it from a small one? Like, what size Vasen denotes gem?
I wonder then, because the Lady of the Cold, we got one stone.
From her.
I mean, she was huge. She was a god-like entity.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this big body, and now this is Henrik talking about, like, the shape of the body, now realizing maybe he's not insane, if they've gotten multiple stones from it, or if they only got one stone. Like how, because she used up the emerald stone at the other demonstration with the arm.
They must have more of them, although she cannot have a great many of them, because when she thought that we had some, she was desperate to have them, which makes more sense if yes, it's the mine and there are these quote-unquote stones, but maybe she's only been able to hunt a few of them.
Perhaps Sigrid has the site. I don't believe Magnusson does.
I mean, she must, if she's been part of it. We must speak to her. And it seems... I think we should go out to the mine and see if we can determine what kind of Vasen it was. Or do you think we could find it in the book already with what we know?
Perhaps we could research it.
How about you roll a learning?
How about we all
How about you roll a little bit of a learning?
Henrik is not a great fast reader. He's flipping through the pages like a madman. Can't find any information.
Right.
I got 2 successes.
Right, nothing.
2 successes is enough to properly identify this is a giant.
Okay.
Ah.
And you remember when I said that you look at the symbols again you saw on the stones. You remember when I said this is really fucking dumb?
The dolphin thing?
Yeah.
What was it?
So the dolphin, you found that where the shoulder would be.
I just
on
realized
the giant...
I rolled 1 shy. Would getting 3 successes make any difference in this situation or no?
Sure, I'll tell you the whole thing because it's such a funny joke to me.
Okay, then I won't roll the 3rd one.
Does the
If
giant
it's gonna make a difference?
Does the giant have a tattoo of a dolphin, Ellie?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is?
And then if you look at the symbols, then after a while you're like, these runes say no regrets.
Oh my
and then
god.
The other symbol is a Chinese. This Chinese for says menu item number 8.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, hold on.
This is how it ends, Ellie.
Hold on, Ellie. So there's a giant who has a dolphin like tramp stamp on its shoulder. It has a
How long
kanji
is- so
Chinese symbol.
This giant has been in our realm for like a really long
Yeah. Far
time.
too long.
Getting trashed,
Where-
having fun.
And it has English that
On
says
spring
no regrets.
But I was in runes.
I was in runes. Okay.
It literally has like spring break tattoos.
Yeah.
Like,
It has a
bad
tramp stamp
decisions.
of a Chinese. Like I thought it was so funny when I thought about it, but it was honestly. But this is like not really related to it. It was more like a fun
This is a
Easter egg
joke.
if they found out that the mine is actually
a giant.
a giant being mined for gemstones.
Yeah.
That is relevant.
Yes.
The tattoo is not relevant at
Yes.
all.
Very
Red
funny.
herring.
I
but
am
funny.
having a lot of time. I'm seeing you guys are dying from laughter.
It's really funny. It's hilarious. Henrik.
They've all leaned really far away from their mics. That's why you can't.
Yeah, Henrik's
Yeah.
cracking up.
It
You
was
just can't
mostly
hear it.
Ellie who was laughing. Just to be very clear.
I was like, when I realized that, I was like, this is so fucking dumb. I have to put it in, but yeah, let's go back
No,
to
I
the
like
serious
it.
stuff.
I like
Yeah,
it.
serious stuff. Okay, so then with Abigail's research and explaining like, yeah, this like is for sure. And we look through the Vassan book from Franzibold and we're like, this is for sure a giant. A dead one, I would presume. And they're just taking the gemstones.
Giants, if you think back mythologically speaking, had their own. They were from Jotunheim. They
Yeah.
had their own realm.
So we're
Oh,
saying
I'm
this is
familiar.
Jotnar. It's a Jotnar is what we're.
Potentially. I
Yeah,
mean,
you would assume that up here there would be plenty of trolls and giants.
Yeah. She kind of describes the briefly the experience they had before you had come, where they went on this mission into the forest and met a dragon, quote unquote,
Lindworm,
a lindworm,
who did not drop a gem.
who did not drop a gem, but also that everything has been very tied into the mythos of Norse storytelling in one way or another. So it wouldn't be outside of the realm of reason for that to be true.
Why didn't the Lindworm drop a gem? We never really...
How would you roll another learning?
Yeah, I would love that, Ellie. Henrik still doesn't know.
All right,
Only
one
one.
success.
Yeah, one success.
After carefully reading, flipping through the pages, you get a sense that, maybe these stones are so rare that they're only coming from certain Vassan. You see, like, giant seems to be protector of something, protector of a realm. You maybe with some broad sweeping assumptions, you could maybe think that Lady of the Cold might have been the protector,
I mean,
or
I
a
would-
giant of some kind.
I would say that makes sense based on the storytelling that went on.
And so, because you've killed other Vassan, none of them really have
Yeah.
dropped stone. The only connection you can see is that it seems to be related to very, very big Vassan.
Protectors or people who are like the central Vassan style gravitational pull of a region.
Yeah. However, the gemstones, there's nothing that says that the Vassan. I mean, so far you've realized though that all Vassan seems to be slightly drawn to the gemstones. So it might not be necessarily just because they're harvested from big ones doesn't mean that they're only affecting the big ones.
Yeah, I think that like the last mystery that I'm thinking of has to do with like why the other Vassan feel pulled to the mine still. Like if the giant is dead, the gate is somehow connected to him being dead.
Going along with that idea, perhaps the original explosion of the crater had opened up some sort of gate, and perhaps the giant came through and was protecting that gated area. Now that he's dead, perhaps the gate is finicky, or it can be opened. This might work in our advantage if he's a protector of it, and now perhaps we can
The
open
gate
it.
could still work.
So where are you? So you guys talk about this for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
Do you then go back to your own rooms, or do you stay here all night
No,
in the same room?
I think we go back to our own, and we're kind
I
of
mean,
like
we're in an ensuite, so it's
Yeah.
pretty easy to just.
communicate if we need
Yeah.
each other. But I think Henrik is like,
Yeah.
we have a good lead. We should follow up tomorrow and like now really try to see what's going on, see if we can figure out the giant and like, you know, all that shit. But he goes back to his room.
Yeah. You hear a knock on your door, Henrik.
I shoot my gun.
Okay.
At the door.
Epilogue starts.
I think Henrik, creaks the door open.
You see a hooded creature that looks like a woman. And it takes you maybe a millisecond to realize it's Sigrid.
I say, Susanne, Sigrid.
Why do all these women come to my door at night?
I say, come in.
She looks very tired as she takes off her cloak, but more disturbingly, she has bruises all over her face.
Oh.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Yeah, of course. And he opens up one of his flasks and pours it into a little glass for her. Lights a candle.
It is a completely different woman from the young, polished, creepy Nazi vibing woman that you've seen in the other public spaces in the past year. And you're reacting to this new version. She doesn't look young anymore at all. She looks in her 40s, maybe. So my husband is dead.
What?
That's good for us.
Sigrid, your face. What?
Perhaps you should gather your friends. I know they're staying with you.
Sigrid, what is going on? What do you mean? Magnusson is dead.
Yeah, no, I took care of it.
You took care of it. Sigrid, you're covered in bruises. What happened?
Well, he didn't like getting killed, so...
It's the greatest response ever.
Sigrid, you killed him.
I did.
Are you okay?
No. I need to talk to you. I need to talk to all of you.
Okay. Just don't leave. And he goes through the ensuite doors and wakes everybody up. Not Johan.
I wake up Johan.
Oh.
All right, whatever.
Do you have any more of that?
Yeah. And Henrik opens up a drawer and it's like clang, 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 and he takes out 3 more flasks.
Jesus.
So the two of you walks in. The three of you with Johan walks in, and you see this bruised woman, but she doesn't look like the young thing you've seen earlier. It's a woman in her 40s.
Do I have a sense of why that might be? Like, is she running a charm or?
Well, as she's talking, she takes out a bottle with a small serum, and then she starts patting it on her face. And you're noticing that the bruises, they kind of go away slowly and slowly.
Flower, gleam, and glow.
Yep.
She's got a healing serum
and
thing.
she's getting younger and younger again.
Did she make these from the fucking gemstones?
Definitely.
Can I look at the closer what the bottle is? Is it just like a vial, a plain vial?
Yeah, I think. She does it in front of you, so I'm assuming she's not really caring about.
Yeah, at this point, it's not like we're gonna be picky anyway, though. Like even if she made it from Vass, and we're like, cool.
Yeah, I think Henrik does kind of say Sigrid, that serum.
Yes. No, I got it from a deal I made with a fairy a long time ago. And fairies are Vassen that exist.
Sigrid?
Yes.
You just said you made a deal with a fairy and you...
Oh, right. There are creatures in society.
No,
we
Sigrid,
know.
We know.
I know.
Everybody just responds, yeah, no, skip that part.
We thought maybe...
I love to think that Horn followed us and is like,
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah.
From the door.
Exactly, and I think she knew that you knew, and she's like, oh, fuck, I have to play that fucking game now. Yeah, okay, well, there are, but...
No, Sigrid, we know. We were wondering if you knew, but then we found your lab, and we understood that you knew very well, in fact. That's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Yes.
But it seems there's something more important. What do you mean your husband's dead?
Right. Listen. All I've ever wanted to do was to make the world a better place. I know that you've been in my lab. I know you've been causing some drama down at the mines. I've been told by several people that you wanted to...
Was it Lioness? I'll kill him.
Yeah. She's like, yeah.
We never liked
That
him.
fucker, I didn't like him from the start. You should fire him.
Or kill him.
Or kill him.
You're
you
on a roll.
seem to be really good at that. I don't say that.
No. But she says, I understand that you perhaps might not like my methods, and that's fully within your right. But just know that, based on what I'm going to tell you now, I did it because I want to make the world a better place. That's always been my ambition. I really do not have any other ulterior motive than that, than to just make the world a better place. And so I did what I had to do. I whored myself out to the military. I knew that when they saw what these things could do, and she takes out a couple of small emerald green gemstones, the resources they would give me would be endless. And I was right. And I thought I would be able to control my husband, but it turns out that we were both playing each other. And he tried to kill me, as you can see, as she wipes away more blood. And so I killed him.
Fair. And now what, exactly, do you propose we do to stop the military, who has access to all sorts of information that you've been providing them?
Right. Before I get to that, these stones, the way I've been able to use their energy, there truly is no limit to what can be achieved. But they want to use it for wars, death, destruction. I realize now I should have seen that, but I got blinded by my ambition. And then she gets into the details of the physics of the stones and how they work. Ellie, can't explain it.
But she makes it sound really
She
good.
sounds really, like this is like a nuclear fission of like so you split atoms. Or
Abigail's really into it.
Yeah, and I think for a while she forgets the urgency and she forgets the that question. I mean, she's just
It's just a nerd jam.
They're nerding out about it and finishing each other's sentences of and that's of course that's how you can do that thing.
So does she basically explain the stones can do multiple things?
Yeah.
They can, repair the body part thing. They can also create nuclear fission type weaponry stuff.
She says she describes basically electricity. Before electricity, she's like, you can imagine a world where you can have machinery without manpower. Imagine a world where you don't need hospitals anymore. But she's talking about things that would make the world seem like a better place. I worked for centuries for this, and that's when you realize she's a lot older than you might think.
Astrid at that point, it says, and for every advance, it's cost the life of these creatures.
Well, okay, yes. We've killed a couple of them for science.
Do you not think we've taken enough from them? Just by living, by these advances.
Did you kill the giant?
No. That one, I'm happy you've noticed that it was a giant, but no, that one has been dead for millions of years. This whole area is very old.
So Sigrid, what's your problem then? You ran out of gems?
No, there's too many of them, and I agree with the lady here. And she points to Astrid. I agree. I think I've gone too far. Basically, we've gone way too far. I cannot participate in it anymore. That's why I'm here to ask you for help to destroy the machine, because that will be the end of it.
Right.
But before, I would like to ask you a couple of questions. I feel like I've been fair enough. Why are you here?
We're invited.
To stop you from ending the world, honestly.
Well, I know Abigail Johnson, the doctor, was invited. But why are you here? And I'm assuming it's not because you want another romp, Henrik.
I think Abigail's just kind of chuckling at it at this point. I think she probably vibes with Sigrid on a level that the other two don't, especially with the questions of it's for science and the excitement of it was for science and we were trying to do this thing and accomplish this thing. She completely understands that. I also think now not being the oldest lady there, even though Sigrid is much older, there's still some camaraderie of being the older women and having a certain amount of connection there too, that there's just something that's sort of again youth, as I said when Abigail first came in. I
think Astrid's response is non-verbal, but her eyes very much narrow because she's kind of weirdly flouting and shaming the fact that they sought comfort in each other. And that's kind of a shitty thing to do to Henrik.
Henrik tenses up.
Yeah.
What else is new?
Yeah, that's it.
But I think he tenses up and he's like, well, if everything's out in the open, Sigrid. No, I did not come here I didn't come here for you. Although, hello.
She's like, well,
Although, hi. He winks.
Hi. Yeah.
well, you
No,
don't
but
have, she's like, you don't have to put it that way.
but I'm glad you're all right.
Don't worry about me. You don't have to worry about me, boy.
Well, I wasn't here for you, is what I was saying.
No, you've
I'm
said
here,
that a couple of times now.
Yeah,
right?
I'm here with Astrid and Dr. Johnson, who was a close friend of Francibold. And we came to prevent exactly what happened to Francibold from happening again. And I will share some information with you. There's a Vassan who has taken over a close friend of mine. They're very dangerous. And they are coming here. They've been drawn to the mine. And they'll kill.
Wait.
What knowledge do you have of portals or the space these creatures might come from that they might want to return
Or
to?
a big gate, so to speak.
So you know about that. A part of her is shocked and very confused about what you said about your
Yeah,
friend.
it wasn't just about the rumps. Yeah, we had information. Yeah, it
We
was
were
all
cool.
a big secret.
So she's like, oh, really? Yes, I have. It's interesting you ask me about the portals. I have noticed there's something with the creatures. They don't like it here anymore. I don't know if it's because of the modern advancements we're doing as a human race, or if it's just their time to leave. But I've had similar thoughts. We have noticed that you can travel with these stones, but we were able to move one non-organic piece from one place to another,
How far away?
about 50 miles away.
With accuracy?
Yes. But however, I have not yet figured out how these, you call them portals, how they necessarily work, because they seem to, as soon as we've tried to open one, it seems to lead somewhere completely different, to a completely different world. So my theory has always been to open a portal for these Vassan who wants to return to wherever they came from, to do so. And if perhaps that would give them peace. I don't know if that will help. But it has been something that I've thought about. However, I am concerned about you telling me there's a human mixed with a Vassan.
It's
Not-
some sort of possession. We're
not
not
mixed,
exactly
yeah.
sure how it happened, but she described it as being the case for 10 years.
Aye, over a decade. And I've known Susanna since we were children. There was a time, I assume, when she wasn't. But for a long time, she's been
Harboring this.
living both through her and feeding on people.
Yeah, that's...
And the energy of the stones, it
And
seems.
unfortunately, she murdered Francibold and has had his stone and was able to use its powers. Sigrid,
Does she still have that stone?
aye, but we think it's run out. Or
It looked like the one that you had used in the presentation.
Sigrid, I don't want to come off as aggressive toward you. You've just given us information. Why, after all your research, would you throw it away to open a portal for the creatures to return home?
I think that's the only way we can restore any sort of balance in this world. Do I think it will work? Not necessarily, but I think I want to give them a chance, because otherwise, if it's not me, then it's someone else in a couple of
Someone
years.
else will discover, they will be harvested, and they won't be thoughtful about it. They won't look for this giant that was already dead. They will hunt. And
Can
the
I
balance will be-
insight check this with Sigrid,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever the equivalent of that is?
What she
'cause
says makes sense, but I'm also like...
any person of that age would have to be a real good liar.
Yeah, I think it's observation, right?
Observation, yeah.
None for
2
me.
successes.
Unfortunately, she also rolled 2 successes.
Damn!
So,
Damn this woman.
not that means that she's lying, but you
We don't
can't
have any
tell.
further
There you go.
insight.
Okay.
You can't tell. But good thinking. But yeah, I mean, like, it's up to you guys. It doesn't necessarily mean like
I think
like
we're
still
choosing to trust her for this time period because there's nothing, like, we don't really have a way to move forward
Also,
if
we
we
need
don't.
her, yeah.
If we don't engage with what she's telling us.
Yeah.
Do you know how to open one of these portals?
That was my next question.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So so she lays out down the plan that she has,
Yeah.
and this is coming from a woman who seems to be on the edge of like wanting to destroy everything because she feels at this point everything I've ever worked for
Has been taken.
taken from me by some assholes. My first plan was, of course, to destroy the machine. I didn't even think about the portal until you now mention it. If we could get access to the machine, I could use the rest of the stones that we have them. We have over 50,000 of them in there.
Ooh, I was very wrong about how few I thought you had.
Oh, there's more. Yeah, there's...
Okay, hold on. We definitely did not think you had that many. Sigrid, do you know how many stones caused the initial crater at the site?
That I don't know. I was unfortunately not here when that happened.
That's my main concern. We might be able to open a portal, but Dr. Johnson, you had a similar case in the States.
Yes, and that was not a crater of any similar size, so I don't know how many Vasset at once or how quickly. We are trying to get them through. Theoretically, the best plan would be to have a small portal and a nice single file line that they can all walk through. Obviously, yes, I understand that is not going to be the situation that happens, but the number of stones that we had in the States was a small bag that you could hold in your hands, nowhere near 50,000. If you make a portal of that size, I fear you would destroy the entire planet.
That is always a risk. That's
not a risk. That's something we won't be doing.
Oh, okay. Yes. No.
But if there was
not.
a way to set a charge, and we could be far away, and it could happen, it could destroy all of the research and open the portal.
My proposal is this. And I'm happy to do this alone. But I need your help to get there. It's up to you if you want to stay with me or not. I can open a portal for long enough and then use the rest of the stones to self-destruct. The machine, the mine, everything in this area.
Can we get the rest of the people out? How easy would that be to do?
Can you call it a emergency and a major evacuation of the mine that is unstable, that something went wrong?
We could. But I don't think it could mean, I don't know how successful we would be.
I think if we said there was some sort of emergency, people would rush to the site to get the most valuable thing out that they could, or to stand protected.
And I must say this is the worst case scenario. None of this might not go that poorly. We know a lot more about how these things work now, even though there's plenty of more things to know and I wish I had time, but if we don't do this tonight, my late husband revoked access to me.
We have to do this now.
And so there are a couple of things that could happen. Now, the most important thing outside of creating the portal, which I don't know even if that's possible, but suppose that we are successful with that, is, I believe, to destroy the machine.
Agreed.
Destroy the machine, harvest whatever's left of these stones, and then I doubt I will survive that, but it's up to you then to bury this secret, and so it cannot be recovered again.
We can take the remaining stones and put them where Franzibald would have known to keep them safe.
Aye.
That's what I'm proposing, but you can also obviously choose to do nothing. I mean, that's also your up to you.
Unfortunately, I can't. And it's not for you, again, Sigrid. It's for... Sorry, I really got to hammer that one home. You really hurt my feelings.
Methinks the lady doth protest too much.
I am
Said about you,
sensitive.
Sigrid.
I have
nothing to
had
do with
a
you.
hard past. No, he says, unfortunately, I can't, Sigrid. If I don't try for Susanna, at least try, then I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
I understand. And she explains the basics of the machine. If I don't make it for whatever reason, perhaps the doctor could help us here. A real scientist. And then she glances at Henrik, because like the first time they met, he said he was a scientist.
Yikes.
I'm a scientist, Sigrid. Of sorts.
Sure.
I'm also a private detective. And I'm a man.
All right.
Many cool things.
I'm tons of stuff.
Had I been perhaps surrounded by people like you, Abigail, and I'm sorry for being so casual with your name, but perhaps things would have worked differently. All right, Astrid.
Sorry. Yeah, Astrid can't like stifle her laugh. She realizes like too late that she chortled, I guess, out loud, and she's like, it's. Listen, I think I'm not about to turn around and look a gift horse in the mouth, but what has been done, and it has put us all in a position to die.
I believe this would have been inevitable. If not me, then someone else. If not the military, then someone else. There's something different with the Vaesen. And that is also true in the book. The big secret about Vaesen is that they are acting in the way they are because of industrialization.
Mm-hmm. Well, we ran into that with, the crossing the railroad tracks and, like, what they weren't able to get back home because industrialization. Yeah.
So you get the sense that this might have been inevitable.
Yeah. She is going to turn to Johan and hand Johan the book. And she says, your job is to start the journey back to the castle Gillenkreutz.
No, Astrid, no.
Because, listen to me, I will do everything in my power to return. But you are just learning that the world is much larger than you ever thought it was. And it is imperative that the society does not fall again. Someone has to be there to safeguard it. I will be doing that here. Henrik, Abigail, we will be doing that here on the front lines. But you must guard all the knowledge that we have.
Please don't make me abandon you. Not now.
You have seen so much. You've seen too much. If you see more too quickly, you could go mad, and then we would be lost. I love you. And I will fight like hell to get back to you. And she, like, sweeps him into her arms and kisses him.
And he responds, but he's crying.
Yeah.
Cry, kiss you.
Cry, kiss you.
And he hugs you one last time.
Yeah.
And now it's time for you guys to prep. You're now faced with a high security sneak mission, but then also supposedly trying to activate something that will either self-destruct or open a portal or do something. However, you will have Sigrid there to guide you, but you haven't, theoretically, but you don't know if you can trust her yet. So it's a tricky situation.
Yeah, this is so different, I think, too, from like what we were getting talents for while doing the Monster of the Week missions, because it was fight the Vaesen or like figure out how to contain them, and now it's like sneak mission.
Yeah, sneak mission, but also you might end up in a combat, so it's not like.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, there's 50,000 guards walking around.
Yeah, I think I want to take the marksman from the hunter's talents, which would give me a +2 to ranged combat on my first turn when ambushing or attacking. Which I think would be good for sneaking into this military place, because I can just take my bow with me and snipe.
Nice.
Quietly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like either adding, so stealth is like my lowest thing, which is why it's so funny that like we keep rolling it and I only have 3 die, and somehow that's the one that I keep getting
Good,
multiple
yeah.
successes on, is the one where I'm rolling the least amount of die. So I don't know, Fates, please inform me if you need me to have lower die to roll better successes, or if having higher die would be a good thing. But either getting something that is like a close combat thing. I'm just thinking of like when you sneak around corners and there's a guard right there and you have to grab him and snap his neck. That's what I'm picturing in my mind.
There might be.
There's something about unarmed, I think.
That would probably be useful as well.
Oh, you know what
Otherwise,
else
I just have my rock hammer. So.
The other thing I could take. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I could technically take strike fear, where I could strike fear into people who aren't Vassin and we're not fighting Vassin.
I was looking at that. The strike fear is good because you can do it as a slow action, and basically they make like a logic or empathy test against you.
Yeah.
But that would be good.
That'd be. The question is, do I want to be Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
Or do I want to be the ultimate Volva Freya priestess?
Well,
Volva, but yeah.
Volva is something different.
Listen, I'm trying to say the words, but the umlaut got me fucked up here.
Take what you want. I was also looking at fear, if that's if that changes, but I was between fear and robust. Robust is you ignore penalties from physical conditions on 1 roll per gaming session.
I mean, you tend to take physical conditions.
I definitely do.
I'm going to take strike fear. We also have what's her face, Sigrid here, and we can say, what do you think we're going to be up against?
It's hard to say. We will be in a stressful situation, I think. And she draws out a map. She's like, there are guards there, there are guards there, there are guards there. However, there is one way through the mine we could potentially take up here that should be unguarded. If we could just get through the first fence right here, and she circles around with her red sharpie that we've seen before. If you could just get through that part, which I think, if we're very quiet, because we should not raise any sort of panic or noises.
The other thing I'm concerned about is we have Vassin who are desperate to get to this location, who are drawn here. We could run into them, and they, like Susanna, might not be completely in control of themselves.
That is true, but my sense is Vassin tend to avoid human contact. However, would you please change out of that dress and put on something more suitable?
She just looks. I
feel like Abigail immediately goes through her own suitcase and like finds you a pair of pants and hands you a pair of pants. Like, there's no way she doesn't have.
Yeah, she looks at this woman in a way that is to say, like, all right, you little shit. Like,
but also,
I have style, but I know how to. I am the society's dog, and I know how to do things. Like, she's a little bit annoyed, and she just kind of looks at both of you and gestures at her, and then closes her fist, and then goes into her room and starts digging through her suitcase and like working with you to find proper
I was gonna say
attire.
either two things are gonna happen. You're gonna be like, fine, take the pants, or you're gonna be like, excuse me, are you saying that because I'm wearing a dress, I can't do the same thing that you're doing without a dress on? Because I can fucking do it in a dress.
She comes back in,
absolutely not.
and she has like her the same kind of attire that they had when they went out for the Lindworm, like her woodland gear, and she has like dark furs around her shoulder, and like a linen hood, and her axe is tucked into her belt, and her bow is over her shoulder, and Thor is perfectly trained and seated at her right side, and she just goes, huh? And just kind of motions to her entire thing and is like, right?
Yeah, she walks up to you and says, it's okay, you're still very pretty.
Henrik also suits up and is fucking pissed at this.
I'm sorry. She's like, oh God. I'm seething. She looks at her. She looks at her.
Abigail will just like
Yeah.
come over and clap you on the shoulder and just like
Yeah.
in a very calm way just be like, she's old. She's much older than you thought she was. She's from even a different time than I am. Let's focus on the task at hand.
I would think she would know how much it stings to be misjudged by people for her appearance.
Henrik sheaths his sword, has his knuckle dusters in one pocket. He's got his revolver on his hip because, yeah, that's right. I have dual weapons. Dual weapons, which is cool. But yeah, I decided to take the robust talent, just so you know. And I know you took
Okay.
fear, though. But
yeah.
and he's still got his light armor. I'm trying to think. It's the last episode. I'm like, okay, his sunstone memento, which we've never fucking talked about.
yeah.
But he takes it out, and I think he actually loops it through the chain that his wife had given him, like, before the first episode. And he wears it around his neck.
Very nice.
And he also takes the self-flagellation flail that we found,
Jesus.
and he sets it down. And he's like, I actually don't need that one. And he leaves it.
She hands out a couple of similar serums that she's been using. It can heal one condition.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna tack on the memento train as well, because my like memento thing that I rolled was a picture of you with somebody. So like obviously it's a picture of her with like Franzabald, and I'm thinking like some very cute nerd
Yeah.
event of like, you know, the first conference that they met at and
Their college
they're-
days or like
yeah, like they're young scientists, all young and chipper, and it's like, yeah, this is what I'm here for.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so all three of you then take 2 + 2.
Let's go for anything.
+2 on anything, an advantage, because Astrid, you already had one from earlier, and also you've used one talent to figure out some
Elementary.
elementary,
I used.
and then one of you?
I used automatic writing in the first part of this adventure.
Yeah, okay, so
So we can't use them again.
no,
Okay.
but you have +2 to 1. You have an advantage.
Okay.
So that is on top of my necklace?
No.
Or, okay, great.
So I have that +2, and then I have the +2 from the stone that you gave me.
Yep, the blessed stone, yeah.
Yeah. You can say exactly. You can still, but all the buffs and stuff you gave it each other still works. Okay, you make your way to the mine. It is not dark because it's again the midsummer sun, but it feels very dark and quiet, and nothing is outside right now. There's no movement. The air is very crisp and cold. Astrid, you feel a presence. And eventually, Henrik, you feel that presence too. And you know that Susanna is somewhere near, looking at you. Abigail, you don't feel anything.
I was gonna ask. I was like,
Oh, I
"Is it
also-
me too?"
I guess we didn't go back to sleep. We didn't, right? I was gonna say in the night I had wanted to try to like go to sleep with the intention of like thinking of Susanna because she was able to communicate through dreams, and sort of like put into the ether like, tell me how to help you, like tell me how to get you home, tell me how to open the gate. You don't have to like tell me if anything happens, but I just wanted to be known that Henrik was like outwardly trying to connect to her, as opposed to before where he was like horrified of every dream he
Yeah.
had.
Unfortunately, this is like either you do it tonight, sort of thing, or you don't. But I mean, you can still do those things as you're walking and trying to communicate that to
He's
her.
thinking those things. He feels her presence, and he's just thinking like, I know you're there. We're gonna try to help you.
Yeah. And so you make it to the first sort of fence or like gate to the mine. You don't see many guards right now, except one. And yeah, what do you want to do?
Kill him.
Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to shoot him to death.
Awesome.
Are you?
I mean, why not?
I mean, that's
Okay,
the plan.
yeah, fuck it, okay.
Why not?
I love
It's
it.
the
It's
end
fucking
of the
us.
world.
Here
Fuck
we
him
go.
up.
2 or more successes, he dies. 1 success, you're managing to take
2
him.
successes.
Okay, never mind.
Nice.
He did.
Yeah. So she just shows up over Sigrid's shoulder as she's like pointing him out in the distance, and it's just like two arrows knocked and just over her shoulder silently and into his eyes.
And you see Sigrid does the Obama meme of like, not bad.
Oh my god.
Not bad.
I hate this woman. I'm going to show her that I am so cool if it kills me. And it might.
Yeah, exactly.
It might, but
Oh, I love it. I love the pissing contest that's between 2 women for once.
Yeah, that's true.
You go ahead. I did warn you about the sexism.
You did from the jump.
Yeah, I just didn't think it'd be from Sigrid, honestly. I'm still mad.
It's internalized misogyny.
yeah, it's so real.
It's very real, especially for me.
Oh my gosh. Wish you could have seen Ellie's face when she was like, especially for me, and then she just like looked down, mouth open, and was like,
Taking in the world.
No, I love women. I do.
I know.
The God.
Ellie, I know.
Delete all of this.
No. Keep it in.
Keep it in. And so you move in through the first gate, and you enter the mine. Sigrid points you to the direction of, you can take it that way, or we can go this way.
Quiet way.
The quiet way.
The way that didn't have guards.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're following you.
Yeah, that makes sense, but it's a little tight. So is anyone claustrophobic?
No, wait, is anybody claustrophobic? We've never asked.
No, I love being in rocks.
Okay, that makes sense. That adds up.
Sigrid's like, so only me then. Damn it.
You're,
Okay.
you're claustrophobic.
Yes. Who wouldn't be? Anyway, okay, let's just
okay,
go.
we're following
Just go.
you.
And
We're
she
following
starts drinking more of it. Aquavit.
Oh my god. We're all doing hand signals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we follow her.
Yes. Takes a while. You don't encounter anyone. And then you get to the like a small hole. Like it just seems to be at the top of the mine, and the big ass machine is right there. However, there's like 3 more guards standing adjacent to it, but they're not facing you right now.
Henrik is gonna try to stealth up to one, and do the sword move of just like the neck, from behind.
Do you guys want to synchronize anything else, or?
Abigail is not necessarily the best in combat, and I think feels very comfortable with like knowing that you guys are more so, and that if she tries to coordinate like a stealth neck break with you guys, that's likely to go badly. So I think Abigail is going to be a little more concerned with sort of keeping an eye on Sigrid, just because we're trusting her right now, but we're not entirely sure, and sort of keeping an eye out on surroundings and like an awareness for other guards and things like that.
All right. Yeah, so we kind of like nod, and I wait for you to get close, and right as I see like the flash of your sword turn around, I let loose
Sweet.
the 2 arrows at the other 2 guys. 1 success.
1 success.
So you get 1 hit in quietly, but they're not dead yet.
Cool.
Fun.
But the third person don't notice it.
Okay. Yeah. So I
Okay.
will stab again.
Yeah, stab
wait.
again.
Yeah.
I could also...
Actually, I forgot my 2 extra die for the sword itself, and I do have a second success. Just
Oh,
want to say.
okay.
So
You
to-
kill 1.
I think she's going to see that there's a potential for the other guy who hasn't noticed what's going on yet, and she wants to confuse him, so she stealths forward and runs under the brush and begins to strike fear into his heart with her occult ways. So what you need to do is to roll a logic or empathy test. You're going to add an additional die for the remaining team member of his that's still alive. And then you have to get 1 success or more, or you're going to be frightened. And I'll tell you what happens if you're frightened.
Okay. No success.
All right, so you are terrified. You suffer a number of mental conditions equal to the fear value, so 1 mental condition.
1 mental condition.
And you roll a 6-sided die to see how many rounds it will take you to regain control.
3 3 rounds.
So you can choose to flee, which means you use all your actions to flee from the thing that frightens you. You could freeze, where your body refuses to move, rendering you completely immobile. You cannot talk or perform any actions whatsoever, and it takes a successful vigilance test to spot you. You could faint, where your body goes limp. Same thing, vigilance test to stop. Or you can attack the nearest hostile person or creature with whatever weapon you are holding, but you lose the ability to make strategic choices and will not stop attacking until the enemy is vanquished.
Whoa. Oh, I remember this when you were frightened.
Yeah.
Way
This
back in
this
episode
rocks.
1.
Yeah, this rocks that you've done this to this person.
He flees.
Get out
That
of here,
man
you punk. Yeah.
does not get paid enough. He's fucking out of here. I think when you go to do that, after Henrik had slit the one guy's throat, I think he's going to go to the dude that you shot but wasn't quite dead and finish him off with another sword.
Abigail will just be looking to see if there is a place to get these bodies out of the way.
Two
So they're
successes.
not seen.
2 successes. I really kill him.
Yeah.
Kill
Damn.
him so sad.
Yeah, it's like Hitman. I always forget to hide the bodies.
Yes.
Hide the bodies. Gotta hide the bodies.
You're like lifting up bushes and like brushing, the body under, putting it back down.
Sigrid is helping. She's helping out, trying to help out, but she's starting to feel like I've hired these people and now I'm killing my own people.
Yeah, you fucked up, Secret.
Yeah, I know, Henrik.
Are we fighting?
Yes.
All right.
No, we're
Could
not
you just-
talking in
I was gonna say,
fact.
could you just go over to them and tell them you're giving them the day off if you hired them and they'd all leave?
Yeah. They would, unfortunately, they've been ordered to, as far as she knows.
He took away your
Your
power.
husband was a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's worried that, and she tells you this, she's worried that the reason why I can't talk to them is because I think they think
probably have
I'm
orders.
Yeah, and I think they think I should go to prison or something.
Yeah.
So things are not great.
I mean, I think we're doing great.
Oh well,
Solid.
yeah. For you guys, you're killing it. I was so nervous about this. I'm like, this is gonna be a 6-hour episode because we're gonna be like, well, combat number 6. Okay.
Really feels like the band's coming together.
I
though.
know. The boys are back in town. Here we come.
And so you get into the area where the machine is. It is huge, and you can see that there's a ladder up to like a platform where you can assume this is where you operate machine. Only 1 or maybe 2 people can stand up there comfortably, or even possibly. It's a very small platform. Susanna shows up.
On the machine?
No,
Oh.
behind you.
Is that better or worse?
I don't like it.
Sigrid is like, who is that?
Henrik turns around. Is she like right behind me?
Yeah.
Huh?
Hello, hey Henrik.
No.
Haven't seen you in so long.
No. I think Henrik turns around, gasps, and says, Susanna,
Are you ready?
is that you?
Yes.
Secret, you can lower your weapon. This is who I was talking about.
Sigrid looks at the girl.
Man, this is awkward.
Yeah.
Your ex is me.
Am I right? Ugh, in the worst way, too. Ugh. I wasn't prepared for this at all.
Yeah.
Sucks.
One of them's got a distended monster jaw.
Yeah.
One of them's ageless.
One of
like,
them is
hundreds
apparently
of
like,
years old.
yeah,
A
centuries
psycho, yeah.
old. Both are psycho in different
Yeah.
way. Both have killed.
Yeah.
This sucks.
You kind of have a type.
I have a type.
though.
My type is murderous.
Yeah.
or
Sigrid,
murdered.
Or dead. Yeah, right.
Straight
Exactly.
up
Fuck.
dead.
God damn it.
Sigrid takes a look at her and looks into her eyes. Says, "This should never have happened." She looks genuinely sad.
What do you think happened?
I don't know. This is an abomination. I'll help you, girl, she says. And Susanna nods, but then she takes Henrik's hand and holds it.
Oh.
If I die, will you carry me back? And she describes the town that's like north of Uppsala, where her parents live.
I mean, I would know this town, right? Or
She hasn't really mentioned her
Okay.
like anything of her parents or family or anything because she hasn't been back in 13 years.
right. Henrik listens and nods, and he says, Susanna, we're going to do everything we can.
Don't tell them what happened.
I won't.
Tell them that I was a good Christian my entire life.
Of course. I think Henrik actually takes off his sunstone and puts it on Susanna because it's supposed to ward off evil and then like keep you safe and stuff.
Sigrid looks at Abigail. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna activate the machine. As I activate the machine, there's no turning back.
Should we get into position?
What do we do to help you?
Yeah.
The girl needs to come with me.
Susanna.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like I want to insight check this situation again because something makes me feel funny with her saying, I'm going to help you.
Yeah.
Because clearly she has helped in some very misguided ways previously.
Yeah, not a great track record, I would agree.
Yeah, not a great helping track record. And so something about that just like rubs the wrong way, especially wanting to take her, just her. So even if like nothing comes from the insight check, I think Abigail's going to be offering like, I'll come with you so that I know how to do it just in case.
Do you want to say anything to Sigrid before, like just
So I think I'm just going to sort of assess the situation first, and then Abigail's going to offer like, I'll come with you to, you know, turn on the machine so that I know how it works in case anything goes wrong. We'll need to make sure we have a backup.
So I'm gonna have Abigail will be the one who can do an insight. No, goddamn it.
One success.
One success. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm like, should I waste an extra roll on this? But I guess I'm just gonna go with her anyway, and...
So what you can do
Right.
is she's gonna be like, no, the girl needs to be with me up there. You can stand two steps down.
Where do you imagine
Yeah,
the portal is going to open up?
I'm hoping to create a smaller portal right there and see, like, I'm trying to use as little energy as possible to open a small portal. Otherwise, this area will be flooded by
I think I'm comfortable with the like 2 steps away thing, and just trying to like have, you know, my rock hammer at the ready, but in a non-threatening way, but in just sort of like, everything's threatening right now, so I'll just have this out for safekeeping and trying to be as non-menacing to her.
Yeah, I think Henrik fully trusts Abigail and like Astrid to do what they have to do, and I think he wants to be near where she says the portal is hopefully going to open, so that he can, 1, protect anything from like coming in, and 2, get Susanna like safely and see if we can make that work.
Yeah,
somehow
I
save
think
her.
She's kind of like walking beside you towards the portal and has decided that's where she needs to be as well, just like maybe a couple range bands back with her bow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Abigail is just going to like say as well, we don't know when this crater might appear. It might be when the portal appears. Be safe where you are. Keep light feet.
Noted.
Keep light feet. I like that.
What
happened to my accent? I like that.
I like that.
I like that a lot.
Wait, so basically, if there were to be a combat, are you guys then out of this? Like, how many zones would you guys assume?
I would say I'm in zone 2 from the machine. If the machine is like the center, I'm 2.
I'm somewhere between the portal and the machine.
So you're probably
2 or 3.
2 or 3. You said
I can be 3 from each because I have
range.
a bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's smart. You should be ranged.
And, and Abigail, Susanna, and Sigrid are in the same zone.
Okay.
That one off, or like in the same zone as the machine, obviously, since they're on the machine.
Yeah. The Asir and the Vanir fought many people from many different planes constantly, so you never know what might pop through for a visit. Yeah, I mean, this is fine, though. I mean, we've done a lot of crazy things.
That's true. This is probably gonna top them all, though.
It's been a pleasure.
Astrid, I'll see you back at Castle Gyllenhaal. Oh.
Sure.
And
yeah.
yeah. Astrid, thank you.
Thank you.
Nope, thank you.
All right. You
All right.
had to make it weird. Yeah.
No, I think he, lightly kind of jostles you and kind of like rubs your back a little bit, and he's like, we got this. We've done this a million times.
Meanwhile, Abigail, Susanna, and Sigrid are standing one button away from either eternal doom or perhaps something more fun.
It'll be great. It's fine. I'm scared.
Okay. Sigrid looks at Abigail. I'm sure, but I want to give you the final say here. You sure?
I think Abigail is just going to look deeply into her eyes and think about all of the things that really means, all the questions that encompasses with what they're doing with the Vasen when they don't really know. It's not like they asked the Vasen what they wanted to do, really. They just have Susanna, and, she's just here with these two people who she just met. But she's here for Franzibald, and just say, I'm sure.
I'm scared.
I'm
scared.
Astrid, did you just make that
No,
noise?
I'm fine. Yeah, great. I hide.
You hear the rumbling of a machine. It sounds like, I don't know, a train starting to move. Faster and faster and faster. Abigail, you're noticing the whole ground starts to shake.
One success.
It's very slight. But you see Sigrid smiling in a way that shakes you to the bone. I'm gonna give you a fast action. Any fast action.
Ooh, I fucking hate you.
Oh.
Oh, God.
That sure
This-
is a
I was gonna
handful
say-
of dice that you're holding out.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on over there?
I was
These are
gonna
just half of them.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
fucking hell.
I mean, so, okay, fast action can either be moving or talking, or it's both.
It could be also dodging an attack, so you can choose to save it.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's the thing with the fast actions. So if you don't use a fast action in the round of combat, you can use your fast action as a reaction to dodge or parry someone's attack.
Yeah.
But if you use your fast action to move, you don't get it later.
How about I tell you what she's about to do, and you can
That'd be great.
decide. Sigrid suddenly takes out a knife.
Steps. Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm I feel like I need to be
Oh, fuck.
jumping to try and save Susanna
Yeah.
and pull her back
Yeah.
towards me,
Go ahead.
which is agility.
I
Or-
would say agility. Sounds good.
Okay. I have some extra rolls here, guys. That's good. Okay, 3. No successes. You know what? I think I'm gonna use one of my extra 2 on this, and we'll see
give
what
yourself
happens.
+1 more because you've been so good about asking for insight.
Yeah, you're the only one really who's been
Super untrusting.
Yep.
Good skill to have,
It's
everybody.
good. It's
Trust
good.
no one. Nothing.
Oh, God.
Got a nothing, y'all.
Goodbye.
no.
Sigrid stabs Susanna and takes the amulet in one fast movement.
My sunstone. I mean, Susanna.
And then she kicks you down the stairs.
Okay, this I do have. So the thing that
What the
the extra talent that I used was defensive, which is you get an extra turn or an extra action that may only be used to dodge or parry.
Yeah.
So can I dodge her trying to shove me back down
Yeah,
the stairs?
I'm gonna roll a force check with her, which is 8 die roll though. So
This fucking bitch.
I cannot
Who the
believe
fuck
it.
did you sleep with, Henrik?
Is
God
she
damn
a
it.
Vasen?
She's mixed Vasen, just like Susanna.
What the fuck?
That's why it was such bullshit when she said, I've never seen this before in my hundreds of years. This shouldn't have happened. I've never seen
Also
this.
remember, she said she's worked on this for centuries.
Well, I know, but she has fairy shit, so I don't
yeah.
know.
Fairy shit can give you a lot of shit.
That's what I hear.
Oh, fuck.
But yeah, no, you guys are up to something. But it's not over yet, guys.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not over. It's not over till it's over.
So when can I be yelling to these two as well?
I think as soon as I see...
I was going to say, as soon
I can
as,
see
like,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I would do my fast action talent, my lightning reflexes, where I can draw my weapons without an action. So immediately, as soon as I see, maybe I don't see the knife, but as soon as I see her kick Abigail off the steps, I immediately take out my revolver.
Which we don't know if she's done yet.
We have to, to do that in initiative order, though.
Alright.
So,
Okay.
so the kick, we need to solve the kick first. And
Okay.
Then,
Yeah.
So,
Fingers crossed.
fingers crossed. Yeah. So,
I'm stressed.
yeah, 2 successes. Can you
I don't-
dodge 2 successes?
I'm not quite sure what this is telling me to roll. It just says you can use that extra action to dodge or parry. What am I rolling
Dodge
to
is an
see if I
agility,
dodge?
I think, right?
Okay, great. I don't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure dodge is agility.
No successes. Guys.
You
back right to
fall
the desk.
down the
That's okay.
stairs, take 1 physical condition. Susanna comes after, falls also into your arms.
Oh, so sad.
She's not dead yet, as far as you know,
Okay.
but
Then
she's
initiative things are
currently
happening.
possessed by a fucking Vassin, so who knows what's gonna
mad.
happen
Great.
now. Unfortunately, the machine doesn't care about any of this.
No,
That makes sense.
I'd imagine not.
And what you see is a huge ring that appears above the mountain formation, the Laponian Gate. It looks like northern lights, this emerald green circle, creating this. It's like it looks perfect, like it fits perfectly to this formation. And it has wisps of other colors like light purple and icy blue. Who's carrying the ice gem?
Me.
Yeah, that's currently like being sucked towards the portal right now.
Okay.
Everything around this whole area is shaking, and there's booming sound of thunder as this, what you can assume, portal opens. Behind it is not Earth. It is something else, a completely different world. And that's when you start also seeing, far, far away from you, you see movement. Astrid, you know that this is Vassin moving towards it. Susanna, as you're holding her, Abigail, starts cramping. And the shadowy creature seems to leave her pores, like something comes out of her pores. And she lets out a bone-chattering scream that eventually turns into muffled sounds of suffocation. This shadowy creature stands maybe at 6 foot, and it just starts gunning towards the portal. However, Sigrid steps up, holding the amulet in her hand that she took from Susanna. And now, let's grab initiative cards.
Do we want it to be high or low? Low. I drew a bad card.
I drew a
then.
bad card too.
It's up to me. I drew bad card.
We're all definitely not first.
Okay. I rolled a medium card. So, I rolled a 5.
Which is first.
7.
Do you remember when Ellie was like, "Well, pick your talents and prepare, but don't forget you have Secret to help you." What the fuck?
Son of a bitch.
That was frankly for the first part where you guys were killing it.
We were fine, and she actually didn't do anything.
No, she
She
didn't really
didn't help
She
us
was just
at all.
She
She
was just
just-
like, Jesus, you guys are brutal.
Sat around and supposedly felt bad that we were killing the people she hired,
Yeah.
but now she doesn't fucking care.
No, she never cared.
We're gonna kill her.
It's gonna be interesting to see how you guys react to this, because she's holding the amulet that she stole from Susanna's maybe dead hands. And now she's facing this shadowy creature that's trying to get away from you. It's trying to go back to its home. But as she holds up the amulet, the creature stops in its tracks. letting out a huge roar of despair as it falls to its knees. And then it sort of gets sucked back towards Sigrid. The amulet turns into a dark red color, and Sigrid starts to change. Her blue eyes are turning completely black. The blood under her skin turns black, creating those spidery veins. And she's growing taller. All those years ago, it's starting to make sense. This is what she tried to do. But then
She wanted to fuse with Avacyn.
yes. But then Susanna was the unfortunate innocent that got sucked into it.
Oh, so it fused with Susanna instead of her.
Just
Yes.
in an accident, like in
In
a...
a huge accident. Sigrid wasn't sure what she was doing.
Yeah.
Created this huge explosion instead. And thought that it was a failed attempt. So when Henrik started talking about his friend, it all made sense to her. She was about to destroy the machine, regardless. Finding other ways to reach what she wanted.
Weapons were never... She was never interested in the weapons or the military or anything.
Never. She thinks it's a part of her beliefs that she can change the world for the better. The problem is that that part believes that she needs to be a demigod in order to do so.
When Henrik... This is all obviously happening, like, very fast.
Yeah.
The stab, the kick, the amulet, like, everything. When Henrik is seeing it and sees that this whatever creature is trying to go through the portal and that she's sucking it back, he's, like, just wide-eyed at everything that's going on, and he screams out, "Sigrid! You promised!"
Don't you see what I can create now? You should come with me, Henrik. You should come with me. We'll create a more beautiful world. A world none of you have ever seen. No more suffering. No more hunger. No more hate. Everyone shall just fall under me, and we shall forever live in happiness. And then she starts slamming the machine. So that's gonna be her first action. So 1 success. Alright, so she gets a dent in, but nothing really happens. Yet. Who's next? Who got...
It's Astrid.
7?
Astrid's next.
Okay.
Good, because you're the best with ranged weapons, so...
So you're in zone 3.
Yeah.
Abigail, Susanna, still in zone 1. I think Sigrid came down, so she's probably also in zone 1, but she's on the
Yeah.
ground right now. Henrik, you're in zone 2.5. What did we say?
Two, yeah.
two.
Thor begins barking
Nice.
and running towards our quarry. The hunt is on. So he begins running towards the machine. So he should be able to make it 1 zone, right?
Yep, move it into the next zone. Yes.
Okay.
He can move
So
it.
he moves, I move 1 zone closer, and I fire at the amulet in her hand. Okay. And I would attempt this. Can I choose afterwards to add my advantage as we've been doing? Like if I like to use my necklace if I don't hit the amulet?
I don't know. I mean, we've been doing that. I don't know if it's against the rules to do that.
You can tell me what you think is fair.
No. I mean, no. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, lucky for me, that's 2 successes.
2 successes.
Which means that I can both hit the item and move it into another zone.
Oh.
Nice.
It's
So-
like, ping! And it would,
Yeah,
like...
exactly. So she takes aim at the amulet that's like connecting her to this thing and shoots it. And she shouts, "Fetch!" at her
Ooh.
dog.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it doesn't damage her at all. It just shoots the amulet into the next zone. And it
Okay.
might damage the amulet with 1 damage, but...
All right. Yeah, you successfully shoot the amulet out of her hand. She still seems to be fully morphed though with the new shadowy creature. So.
But the amulet is recharged.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Red. Super red, not
Okay.
green.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But it goes from. So it goes towards the next zone.
The other
away.
way.
Yeah, the other way. Okay, it's.
So technically it is now in the same zone as Thor.
No, the other way.
Further.
Oh, so Yeah. Oh,
It's
you're
in
right.
2,
You're right.
but it's in 2
on the
this
other side. Yeah. Okay.
Henrik just starts booking it towards the machine, zone 1. You said Secret is off the machine now on the ground. He's running straight up to her, and with his knuckle duster, he's just going to absolutely deck her in the face.
Go ahead.
And it's not nice to hit people, and it's not nice to hit women. And she was recently in a fight with her husband, but I'm punching her in the face.
But she's a murderer,
she's
so
a
it's
bad
okay.
woman.
See, this is currently
She's a
like
bad
a
lady.
monster.
And I didn't get any successes. Just too mad.
Swing
Oh
wide.
wait, hold on. I think I actually have one extra. Oh, let's see. Nope.
Do you have an extra attack though, because you're dual wielding, or is that not?
No. Unfortunately, it's just on. I can use my extra successes to do
I
stuff.
see.
Oh wait, hold on. Nope, never mind. That's for combat force or parry. My combat trained. So many talents, but very untalented in this moment.
Yeah, so Henrik, he tries to knock her out, but it barely misses her, and she continues to just work on the machine, trying to she's ignoring you. To her, you're ants at this point. It is Abigail Johnson,
I think
currently holding Susanna.
Yeah, I think obviously I'm holding Susanna, so I'm gonna try and see, like, she's still alive at this exact point, and see if I can sort of help her at all. I don't know how long medicine checks take as far as combat rounds go.
Yeah, that's a good.
We also have the serum.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Who has it?
We all got one.
Yeah.
We all have one. Okay, then
When's-
I will absolutely use that for Susanna.
Yeah.
And it heals one physical condition.
Yes. Susanna is broken, and so she's like useless. However, one point will put her up one
Two wounded.
to wounded.
Still not good.
Still not good, and still like very vulnerable to anything. But
Right.
but at least she's not physically dying, and she's just looking at you with her still brown puppy eyes of sadness, but like much more human.
Okay.
And she's desperately clinging onto you, bleeding from where she got stabbed. It is the top of the second round. Holy shit.
Made some good progress there with just Astrid.
Yeah.
Yeah, as per usual.
Doing
No.
a lot. No.
I mean, when it sometimes
It's
certain
so funny.
things.
I roll so well, and then it like gets into combat, and I have so many dice, like you said, Kai,
Right.
and I'm like, I cannot hit for
It's
shit.
like the more dice I have, the
The
less
worse.
likely
Yeah.
I am to
Totally,
actually
totally.
do anything with
There's
it.
Well,
something.
the other thing about it is, I think for me, in that first game that we played, I was so ineffectual that I was like, I will change this. I
That's
will
true.
affect change in the field of battle.
Sigrid, or what the woman formerly known as Sigrid.
The artist formerly.
Yeah. Without the amulet, the control she had seems to not be working so well anymore. So she, instead of destroying this machine,
I mean, fine.
yeah, she turns to Henrik.
Fuck. I was afraid
Not
of
so
that.
great.
Afraid of that one. I did try to punch her in the face, forgetting she was now a demigod. So
And now
that's my bad.
she's going.
The way you scratch the back of your head, like,
Ay, ay, ay.
She's gonna use her slow action to try to brush you to the side.
All right. Well, I
And
do.
she has 15 dice.
Cool. Well, I do have combat trained, and I get a +2 to force or for parry. So I'm gonna definitely try to parry that.
Good luck.
Okay, great. Fuck me.
I only got one success.
I got no success.
Oh no!
why?
You take
It's all you, Astrid. You got this.
you take 2 points of damage.
So 2 conditions?
2 conditions. However,
Actually, oh, go ahead.
and you're also being pushed away to the zone 3.
Zone 3.
Yeah.
Fuck. I actually only take one condition because my other talent, I'm robust. I can ignore penalties from a physical condition, so I only will take one.
Oh, cool. However, also
don't you
armor.
have armor?
Oh,
Yeah.
I do. I take no, actually.
No, but yeah. So we messed up armor.
Okay.
You actually get to what's your armor?
2.
2. So you get +2 on your dice roll to see if you can actually successfully.
Oh,
parry.
okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me do that then.
Yeah.
I love that we're learning.
We fucked up that so many times.
You know
I
what?
like my way much more, but
I am rolling such. I blame this book.
Henrik's gonna
I'm not
die.
Kind of.
I'm gonna just switch
It's
stuff around.
finally happening.
All right, so yeah, I do get pushed, but I don't take. I only take one condition.
Also, what you're noticing right now, due to this humongous fucking portal, I mean,
Yeah.
you hear shouts from the town. The military's waking up.
Yeah.
And she's gonna use that. She's gonna hold her fast action because you assholes will probably try to attack her more. It is Astrid's
Astrid's
turn.
turn. Astrid looks up and watches you fly backwards, and she is like, no! And she draws her bow again, and she thinks of all of the times that Henrik has been on the front lines when she's sat back and been able to shoot from a distance, and she is going to activate her necklace ability to add an extra 2. All right, that is 4 successes, which means I am able to increase my damage by 1 for every one of them. So initially it's 2 damage, plus 2 more for, or no, is it plus 1 damage for every extra? So 2, 3, 4, 5 damage.
Oh, all right, 5 points of damage.
Yeah.
That hurts. That hurts. But she's going to use her fast action
I'm sure she is.
and heal up. Try to heal up.
All right, let's pray.
2 successes. So, all right. So she's currently bleeding.
I will use my movement and allow Thor to move. So Thor is now in ring 1 on his way to next turn pick up the amulet.
Okay,
Bring to the
cool,
other
cool.
side, and I am now range 1.
Okay, cool.
All right. Henrik gets up
Killing
and just goes, all right. all right. And he takes out his gun and he's like, fuck. And he can't see anything. Like, he's just like so messed up right now. He flew so far. He's back by the portal. I'm sure like there's weird energy shit. And he sees all these Vasen and he's like, takes out his gun and he's just gonna fire at Sigrid. Right at her head.
Yeah, call that shot.
Yeah. Headshot. 1 success.
1 success. Yeah. How much damage?
2.
2. All right. It is Abigail's turn. I love that you guys seem hopeful. It makes me happy.
I don't like that you smiled at that. I love that you're hopeful. It gives you further to fall when I crush your souls.
God.
So I forgot that my other talent lets me move within my zone without spending an action. So you'll have to tell me if this is something that I can do, but can I move Susanna with me to like the edge of the zone and then use actual movement to like get her out of the way?
A fast action to move the both of you out of the zone, and then a slow action to you want to move her further.
Yes. I
Yeah.
think for this, I want to get her further out, like closer to where the ranged things would be,
Yeah.
just so that she's not a target, since she's obviously the most vulnerable person here.
Yeah. Yeah. So
And then I'm going to have to move back, though, because I don't really have any
yeah.
ranged abilities, so.
Okay. Yeah. You go ahead and do that. So use agility and force. Force for the moving her.
Okay. Nothing.
Hmm.
My injury is too bad, guys. Nothing on either of those. Oh my gosh. Okay. So those dice clearly need to sit somewhere else. She's just gonna be struggling, like, how trying to move her out of the way, but feeling like she's not capable of doing anything because she can't really attack from being far away, but she
Super
wants
rough.
to get Susanna out of the way, but she doesn't really have the ability to drag her either. So, I mean, I guess there's nothing really else she could do. She just failed at what she was trying to do and is really having a hard time with already feeling like she failed because she didn't save her in the first place from getting stabbed, even though she was not having good vibes.
Is the knife
Sigrid,
is the
but-
knife still in her chest?
I assume so. Unless it was a quick stab.
Cool new weapon.
Yeah, I'm just saying, maybe take
Yeah.
that knife. I don't know. I guess you have a hammer. Maybe a hammer's better than a knife.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think Abigail's much more comfortable using her hammer, and
True.
also just with like the slight bit of medical knowledge that she has, pulling it
maybe
out
don't pull
remove
that
might
knife.
not be a good idea.
You're so. That's why you're the doctor. You're so.
Yeah, thank God you're here.
Henrik's like, take the knife.
It would be badass. Pull it out.
Susanna's like, like just gouts of blood.
Put it back in.
You see Abigail
Or
take
you
it out and then
stab.
stab her again. So,
Henrik's giving 2 big thumbs up.
yeah. He's like, well, both
good,
Is there
good.
any women I can trust here?
Also, speaking of injuries, I rolled on my physical injury for my condition, and I got a torn abdomen.
Ooh, you don't like that.
Do you have to roll physical injury on just?
I thought
I
it
don't
was
know.
broken.
It's only on
It's
broken.
only unbroken. Yeah, I just did that too. I did that too. And she
I
was
messed
like,
that
it's
up.
just exhausted.
Well, I was gonna
so.
say, I wish I got it because it's actually sick. When you get into the 60s on the roll
Yeah.
chart, you actually get pluses because you're so fucked up. So
Yeah, just
you
like
get,
the Vassan do.
You get insight. So I would have had +3 to range combat, but
Yep.
never mind.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's all fun. It
Not
is the
dead,
top
that
of.
dead yet.
It is the top of round 3. Holy shit! You guys are still alive. I mean, that's more than I expected.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
we're pros. What can we say?
Professional society.
I'm gonna use a cool action that I think is cool, at least. Sigrid's gonna turn around, or whatever is Sigrid anymore. She's gonna turn around and scream. This shadowy creature is gonna just fucking let out a guttural, weird sound
Yeah.
that shakes the entire area up to zone 5.
Cool.
And all of you have to roll a fear.
Uh-oh.
Wait, what do we roll against that?
So
A logic or empathy.
Logic or empathy? Okay.
So this is going to be rough. This is going to be really bad news if we don't get it.
oh no. Oh no. Anyone?
Zilch.
I'm trying to see if I actually get. Yeah, one. Let's see. Nope, it's a 5.
So
A 6.
now we have to roll a d6 to see how many rounds we're affected for. Hope it's 1. 1! Okay, sorry.
5.
4.
Okay, killing it. Huh.
Astrid for the win.
okay.
The dog's fine though, guys. The dog's fine.
But then you can choose. Hold on, I just had this up on page 68.
Oh, I know what I'm choosing. I'm just attacking until it's dead.
Yeah.
That's what I'm choosing. Why would I
Yeah.
flee? Why would I lay down? I'm not
So
doing
now
that.
you attack the nearest hostile person or creature with whatever weapon you're currently holding
secret
until it is dead.
cool. I'm gonna shoot her. a bunch.
And you can choose to do whatever you'd like for 4 rounds.
What are the other options again? It's you're
Uh,
frozen, you're fleeing.
Yeah, you
you're-
can run, you can freeze, which will make you harder to see or to hit. You could faint, which will also it would be like your body goes limp in a veil of darkness, descends over the world. If you are lying in a dark or concealed position, takes a vigilance test to spot you, and attack is the last one.
Honestly, I feel like this might go horribly wrong, but because Abigail is already so frustrated and like fleeing, even though she's not necessarily fleeing with Susanna, is sort of not working, that in this sort of end-all be-all situation, I feel like I'm just gonna go with attacking as well, and like she's just gonna drop Susanna and do the whole
Yep.
guttural scream.
I too
Go
will
for
attack.
it.
By the way, you also suffer a number of mental conditions equal to the fear value.
Okay, so we would be down to frightened, right?
Yes.
So cool, which means we take those negatives to our attacks.
This sucks.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
Fear sucks.
what's the point otherwise in fear of like,
Yeah.
we'll just continue to hit the creature.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay, well, then there's nothing.
Mhm.
Yep, okay, sorry guys,
No, it's fine.
but I'm
fine.
also not done.
Uh-oh.
Who is in my zone again? It's Susanna
Me
Abigail.
and Susanna, I
and
think.
Thor.
and
Thor is not on the thing, but sure, he's there.
No, well,
He's
he
around.
He went to get the
Yeah,
amulets.
he's headed towards the amulet,
So
which
he's
is
further.
off.
I
Well,
think
he's
we're-
in zone 1 right now because he has to pass through zone 1 to get to zone 2 on
Yeah,
the
but we're
other
in round
side.
3. He didn't make it yet.
No, he was.
He
started
will
in zone 3.
after
Because he was in
his
3,
turn.
2,
3,
1,
2.
and
yeah.
then
I thought he
at
was
the
in 2.
end.
All right.
All right,
I know,
so
me too.
The
Trying to-
three
trying
of
to
us.
say
I swear to God, if you kill my
stayed
dog,
in
I'll kill
zone
you.
2 and you're in zone 3.
So 1, 2, Thor, 3, 4, Abigail, 5, 6, Susanna. I'm gonna use my extra action.
So mean that she's still coming for Susanna.
to grapple an
Poor
opponent.
girl, basically dead.
If you touch my dog, I will
I will
instantly
grapple the
murder
shit
you.
out of you. Grapple me.
Abigail, yeah.
Good.
Bring it! Take me!
I am
I have my
respectfully holding my sigh of relief that it wasn't my dog, and I respect you.
You know
and
what? I feel like the dog is honestly in some ways more important right now to get that stone and do whatever the fucking shit you need. Again, this is why we had the whole moment with the lock eyes with Sigrid, and we're like,
Yeah.
are you ready to go? Fucking ready. Let's do it.
Yep.
Fucking kicks you down the stairs.
You can try to not...
Okay, well, we don't have to talk about
We don't
that
have to
part.
talk about that part of it. We'll just remove that.
Here
It's
comes
her story.
15 might. No successes on the first.
Okay.
I do get my extra action to dodge, though.
Yeah, good.
So-
Good luck.
Oh god. I'm super dead. Yep, because I didn't get anything. Oh my god, guys, I don't think I've rolled a success.
Do you
this
have
is-
do you have
this-
your +2?
I have one left.
Do it, man. You
No,
can-
don't. If you didn't get any successes, don't do
It's
it.
not
I didn't get any.
Don't
Yeah.
do it, man.
She
But you know
gra-
what? She's busy. She's grappling
Yeah,
me.
she's
you guys.
she's grappling Abigail, and then hurls you through the air,
God.
attacking Henrik. No, but like trying to hit Henrik.
What the fuck?
Henrik gets up and then gets knocked down again. We'll see. Yeah. See, that's so you're in the same zone as Henrik right now.
Cool.
Nice.
Exposing
And,
Thor and Susanna.
do I get some other kind of physical condition from that? I'm assuming. I'm assuming. I mean, I would be great if I didn't, but
I got
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, one.
okay. So I am battered.
Battered and hungry. It is
Okay.
Astrid's turn.
So, Thor makes it to zone 2 on the other side. Does he get the amulet?
Try.
Would it be an investigation check because he's a bonus of 3?
Investigating if you can grab the no.
Well, to find it on the ground. I was
No,
thinking.
we'll use your stats.
Yeah.
So let's use your stats for a agility.
God.
Wait, but she already gave him the command fetch. Didn't she?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but is that is that an actual thing? I
Can't
thought you
you
got, I thought that was
interact-
just flavor.
No, I thought there
no.
was like certain commands you can like do.
I mean,
the...
it wasn't a command in the book. I was just telling him to fetch.
Oh, I thought it was
So I
command. in
thought
the
it would
book.
have to be. He'd have to find it because he has a bonus to investigation.
I mean the Foxhound is only this actually used as a +2 to close combat or something, right?
No. So yes, but it's a +3 to close combat, to vigilance, to investigation. So if I were rolling a vigilance check and I was and my dog was around, I could get a +3 to it.
Right.
So technically, if he was trying to find it on the ground, right, as opposed to just grab it.
He sees it, but I think like in order because it's like otherwise we need to have something.
I see. He's running and trying to grab it. I see
Okay,
what
cool.
you're saying.
So I'm gonna roll my 5 for precision and 2 successes.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Grab you.
Thank
grab
See,
the
this is why I was like,
God.
grapple me, not the dog. The dog's got it.
Grapple me.
So dog picks it up, and then using my fear action of "I'll kill you till you're dead," I would like to shoot. I will take my -2 to my bow for having my 2 mental conditions, and I will roll 5 dice and roll right. 0 successes. But hey, listen.
The
Just happy to be
amulet.
here.
The amulet is almost there. It is Hendrik's turn. Boom, 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 boom.
Gun out, shooting again at Sigrid. Let's go.
Let's go. And my jaw is broken from getting hit by Abigail.
1 success.
Dude, good job.
2 damage.
2 damage, yeah. She just became murderous. +2.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's fine. She was gonna do it anyway.
Yep.
Also, I'm in zone 3.
I feel like Abigail's tanking right now just because, not as in like tanking in a bad way, but tanking as like playing the role of
No, you're
tank.
Tank,
doing,
yes.
You're doing great.
Because, again, she doesn't do like ranged combat at all. So her in her frightened state is literally just going to like hammer up, fucking screaming yell, and try and move back into the next zone. And again, with the fleet-footed thing, I have the ability to move in a zone as an extra action. So I'll basically cross zone 3 and enter zone 2, and then use action to start moving through that space, I suppose, or possibly be able to cross it. I don't know what the
so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like these
ability is.
3 people, like so brave, are just fucking going for it, even though they know it's at this point probably certain death.
Yeah.
That's
fine.
And that's okay. Yes,
Do
you
they?
move
Well,
them.
now we do.
Do they?
And so you move back towards her.
Yeah, basically you just have to let me know if that puts me back in 1 or if that puts me at the edge of 2.
Let's have you. If you want to use both actions, both slow and fast, I can put you back to zone 1.
Okay. Bring it.
Yeah, she's
Bring
back.
it.
Girl, she's back. But it's unfortunately my turn. I mean,
it is.
Sigrid's turn. Wap, wap. Okay. Alright. How do I want to finish this? Where are we, guys, in terms of broken conditions? Oh, sorry, not broken.
I'm not telling you.
Alright, cool.
I have 0 physical conditions.
Oh.
I'm battered and you're exhausted.
I'm exhausted. 2 mental, 1 physical.
Alright. She's gonna continue to hit the machine. And she seems... Alright, here it comes. I'm gonna attack it. With all of her might. 3 successes. The machine starts to shake really violently, and you start to see the portal slowly but surely collapse on itself.
No.
The ground around you starts to shake in weird earthquakey ways, and you're feeling that this is not good at all. And then she's gonna not do any more fast actions for now. However, you're looking at me in a weird way, Anne. What's up?
I have a weird idea.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
What if Thor and I both entered Zone 1, and I took the amulet and shot it through the portal on an arrow? Would it cut off her connection to this thing? I don't know.
I don't know.
But that's what I'm gonna do. Because
I mean,
it seems cool.
We're not gonna do shit with the amulet anyway. We can't control
I don't
it.
need it. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I think that's pretty cool.
Do it. Shoot it through the portal.
Yeah. So, here, boy. So she reaches down and snatches the amulet and like draws it back and attaches it to the back of the fletching, like wrapping it around. And she watches as the portal is closing super, super quick, and she just impulsively shoots it through the closing portal, hoping it'll do something.
Give yourself +4.
Oh yeah!
So
Yes.
fucking cool.
Okay, I'm scared. My hands are shaking.
Oh, this
Okay.
is such like a catch moment, you
Now
know,
I
like
need
the
to-
up in the
Oh
air.
yeah, I already took
Heavenly
away my-
dice gods.
Oh,
let
we
me
pray to
let me just say
Please,
this.
hear our
This could
prayers.
be it. This could be it.
Come on, Anne.
I have 1 success.
Astrid, successfully, in front of the woman who insulted her 10 minutes ago, shoots the amulet through a portal that's closing in, and within milliseconds, she gets through it with the arrow. It's one of those interstellar noises that I don't know if you've seen. Oh, gravity. It's more like zoop, and then it's 1, 2, 3, quiet, quiet, quiet. However, as this happened, you saw the shadowy creature sort of being sucked out of Sigrid in one super quick motion, just boom, right into the portal as well. However, the machine still exploding. Sigrid lets out a no as her whole body starts to combust. But you need to get the fuck out of here.
So where are we? I'm in
You are
Zone
with
1.
Susanna and Thor.
I'm in Zone 1 with Susanna and you
ran
and Thor.
back. I'm in zone 3.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
I'm very
next to where the portal was.
Yeah. I don't know if it makes sense for me to try to run back and then us run further. In what direction does it seem like it's safe to run in?
It looks like currently, like you see at the edge of the zone 3, if it's like a circle around the machine,
Yeah.
it looks like it's like that edge is starting to collapse on itself
Yeah.
into like a sinkhole. But you can also see from people fleeing from it as well right now. Like the military has arrived, but then like,
Yeah.
oh shit, fuck that, and then they're going back as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have.
We should go towards the Lost Mountain.
No, didn't you say it was sinking over there by zone 3?
No, it's around your machine right now.
Oh, around the
Like,
machine. Yeah, so maybe I would start running toward you guys. Maybe I meet you at like 2 and zone 2 and help you like lift Susanna further, and then we like book it toward Lost Mountain gap.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I wonder how we'll do this. This is a little bit improv now. Crap.
As opposed to any other time we roleplay where it's no improv, it's all scripted.
It's all scripted.
No, but I thought I hadn't really had this outcome was not on my 50 million outcome.
Sorry.
list.
That rocks.
That rocks so much. I love it.
That
Thank
rocks
you.
ass. That's
Thank
awesome.
You. All right. So, I'm thinking agility
Okay.
to get to Susanna, and then I'm thinking force to be able to carry her out of here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys have any talents or anything that can help you?
I still have the +2 from the blessed stone, but that's all I've got. Otherwise, the
And
talents
running on
that I
empty.
have, the fleet-footed talent is the only thing I have, but I think that's just combat.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I could maybe if you allow me to, I could use my combat train for the force for parry and just use force for force.
Yeah.
So my agility was 1 success. I'm not trying to help pick up Susanna.
So you make it out.
Okay.
Out of zone 3.
So I got 1 success on my agility, but I guess I don't have any successes on force, but I'm not sure if I was the person who was doing that anyway, or if that was you.
I got no successes on agility, and I got no successes on force.
Henrik, no!
I think it would make sense for Hendrik to be the one to try to carry Susanna out of there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think it would be. I mean, that was his plan.
Okay. So
Let me see if I can do anything.
So I tried, but I yet again could not
no, but
carry
Abigail.
Susanna.
Yeah, but Abigail, you make it out as well. So you and Astrid are watching Hendrik trying to save his former lover.
Oh wait, no, I didn't use my extra 2.
Do you want to give them to Sydney and see if he can?
Yeah, can I like give you the stone,
like-
the blessed stone?
Yeah, can I like roll better? Somebody help me. Does it make me roll my dice better? What
You have the blessed stone.
Okay.
Go, Henrik, go.
Okay, I will take. It's only 1 success. I will take that 1 success to do the thing where I like throw Susanna further than myself because I did not make the agility roll, but this was for force.
All right. So the two of you roll to see if you can catch her.
Yeah.
If we don't have the ability to like pull her along with us, can Thor?
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I'm scared. All right. Thor has
I got no
close-
successes.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I'm just gonna roll some dice now. 2 successes.
Oh, wow.
Okay, wait.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and then I have one more. For agility. Wait, no. That's it. 2 successes.
Oh God.
So Astrid looks between herself and Dr. Johnson, and then she watches Henrik like struggling to throw Susanna forward, and she makes a quick decision, and she runs up, and as the sinkhole is going, she just holds her bow over the side for him to grab.
And I think Henrik, 1 from his injuries, and 2 because I failed the fucking agility roll. But he just like doesn't have the stamina to run that far.
Yeah.
So he's like, the sinkhole is happening. He's like slowly almost crawling as the ground is falling beneath him. And I think he like loops Susanna's arms through the edge of the bow and just like pushes her further toward Astrid as he still is trying to like clamber up the side of the rocks and earth.
Yeah.
Susanna makes it. You pull her to safety. Abigail, you make it. You're holding on to Susanna for dear life. Henrik, trying to desperately hold on, falls. Together with so many other people who might have accidentally been close to where this new crater is happening. He falls. Let's look at the physical conditions. The critical injury.
You want me to roll?
So I want you to roll 1/6 d6 because you're gonna be in the 60s.
Okay. 6. Oh, that's the 66 is the worst you can get.
You have crushed chest,
I'm dead.
but your inside is supernatural strength. So you get +4 on a force check.
Can I use that to crawl out of the hole?
You have 1d6 rounds. And you are... So this is basically one more chance
This is
to
brutal,
be able
Ellie.
to crawl out.
You should have just
Yeah.
made me die. This is so brutal.
No, I wanted the dice to decide, but
You're like, I want you to die horribly.
I can
not
try-
just die.
I can try. So it's my force +4. Okay. So this injury makes so much sense, though. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's the worst one.
Yeah.
It's like...
you have a crushed chest because of all the stones falling off of you. So for the next 6 rounds, I mean, the rounds are over, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But so if say one round is 6 seconds usually or something, yeah, you have 30 seconds to try to get out of this.
Yeah. 1 success. Hold on. Plus the...
So
Well, 2 successes on that force roll.
nice. So the stone is gone from your chest. And let's see if you can get up. Because you can't shout. I mean, you're basically suffocating.
Yeah.
2 success on that first roll. Are you
She
kidding me?
only rolled 2 dice
Yeah.
and got 2
Holy
successes.
shit, that rocks. Okay. 2 successes on that second roll. On the
Holy
other
shit.
check.
All right, so
Holy
that
shit.
gets you up to half. And then
Yeah.
one final roll.
I feel like slow motion is this is the whole thing from our perspective is like Susanna is up and we're just looking into this like
I just-
sinkhole the way you watch like an
I
hourglass
feel
like
like
the
I'm
sand
just imagining
fall
like
in.
the Susanna thing too, of like you were saying when she was looking at Abigail, like her like human eyes are starting to like come back.
Yeah.
Of this being a thing of like her being the most important person, like looking
Yeah.
back to Henrik.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just oh my god.
This is so stressful.
All right, so this is the... Okay, one more. Come on.
Wait, no. It's 2 more. Yeah.
Okay.
Come on. Oh
Okay,
my
the last two dice
I'll do one
for
at
the
a
rest
time.
of this fucking adventure.
Fuck. No. Jesus Cristo. Jesus Cristo.
So like there's like the heartbeat,
Oh.
right? Of where I'm just looking into this hole and I am just on my knees like hoping, praying that your hand is going to surge out.
And there's
of
not. This is like
sinkhole.
30 seconds. Of course, it feels like an hour.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
just
yeah.
nothing. And as
Yeah,
the
I
ground
mean-
sinks like further and further, and rocks are tumbling. I mean, like he's dead.
Literally, these 5 last seconds felt like an
My
hour.
heart is
Yeah.
beating so fast.
Oh
So
my god,
what
I
you-
love tabletop RPGs so much.
what you see, the 3 of you women are looking down to see, shouting after Henrik,
Yeah.
Henrik, please come back. But then in the background, you're looking at some different way. You can't see
Yeah.
him. He fell so far away. But
Yeah.
in the background, he just starts crawling up.
From a different area.
Like
different
Indiana
area.
Jones
Yeah.
in The Last Crusade.
And gets up and then just collapses because he still has a crushed
Chest.
lung. So
We have
I
we
think
need to
two
save
potions.
him.
Yeah,
He's
and
not
I
a-
think he
and-
immediately, like, he can't speak or anything, but he's like, he crawled up behind you, and I think he just reaches out, and you just feel like the brush of his hand,
Yeah.
like, trying to hit the back of your calves
Yeah.
to get your attention.
She immediately whips out her potion.
And I have one in my pocket that
Yeah,
I never
and
used.
she begins. She starts to administer, and she's like, "Doctor, you're a doctor!" Like, and she just shoves the potions in your
Abigail
hands.
has no idea what she's doing, but is going for it anyway, helping as much as she can with
Yeah.
like you and Susanna both on the ground.
Holy shit!
all of you fucking survived.
Oh my.
As we literally
But-
just watch the world
Yeah,
crumble before
and Henrik
us.
passes out. Like, he comes to, and you can tell, like, his chest is no longer caved in. The fairy serums have obviously helped
Yeah.
immensely with that. But he looks up, and he sees obviously 3 people who he
Yeah.
like cares about so much now, and he smiles, and it's like this dopey drug-induced smile. And
Thor is just licking all over your face.
and Thor's there, and he just goes, "It's time for some fika," and he passes out.
Yeah. And as this happens, Astrid is just like happy tears and just exertion, and just looks up towards the great hole in the skyline of the Lost Mountain.
And so we leave our 4 adventurers behind. The years pass. People seem to forget very quickly what happened up here. It's as if it's this global, widespread memory loss. The memories are starting to slowly fade, like distant dreams. And no one is really talking about Kirina and the mine anymore. Astrid, you live a long and happy life with your husband Johan, and the 2 of you continue to run the successful and mysterious Hotel Gyllenkreuz together. You tell your children about your wonderful adventures, about the strange but friendly creatures that hides in plain sight. But as the years go by, you see them less and less, and you're starting to wonder, did they ever exist? Or was it just fairy tales? 50 years go by, and we see Johan and Astrid on a bed, holding each other as the both of you pass away. Abigail, you lasted a really long time.
Solidly in her hundreds. Like you knew she would be.
Exactly.
Fucking it up.
Yeah. And you're invited to the first Nobel Prize dinner,
Yes.
because you're a very successful scientist.
Yes.
And at this party, there are other scientists.
There's a lot of
And
them.
that makes it the best party.
Mostly scientists.
But you don't remember anything of these stones, or anything that even happened in Sweden. And finally, Henrik. You're with Susanna. She's currently holding your hand, tears running down her face as another seizure captures your body and you start to violently scream in pain. A nurse steps forward, administering something that calms you. You are currently in a mental institution. What? Because you're the only one who didn't forget. You remember every single detail about what went down in Kirina. Susanna prays that you one day will come back. But you won't. And that's the end of the Lost Mountain saga.
Oh, Ellie.
But we did it!
Oh, thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Ellie. Oh, man. That rocks ass. That rocks ass so hard.